Live from Jack Kent Cook Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C., the NFL on Fox brings you an NFC East matchup. The Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Redskins. Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan here in Raljohn, Maryland, ready for this rematch of a game played 2 weeks ago out in Phoenix. And these Cardinals come in here still in the wild card playoff hunt. As for the Redskins, they're looking for victory number 2 in a row after beating the Eagles last week. I'm joined by Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott, and these Cardinals certainly have provided a lot of exciting finishes, Bill. They've had trouble, however, getting started each game.
That's right. Everybody in Arizona wants to know, how come the offense isn't as good in the first half as they are their second half? And it's because of their quarterback. And by no means this is because he's bad. It's because in the first half, he's trying to play quarterback. He's trying to read defenses, understand the pass routes. And in the second half, when they get behind, he becomes a football player. And when he becomes a football player, look at the numbers over the last 3 weeks. He is electrifying. He is as good as it gets as an improvisational quarterback, Ronnie.
Yeah, John Stockton, that's what I think of. The guy that can pass the ball, the guy that can get it to Malone. Now, the two guys on this football team that are Malone is Frank Sanders and Rob Moore. Now, those are two guys that he has to get the ball to. If he's able to do that, we're going to see a lot of great finishes, and we're going to see a lot of great passes.
Fast breaks.
Yes.
Now, as far as Washington is concerned, even though they got a win last week, they've reshuffled their offensive line, Bill.
Well, they had to because of Simeon Rice. 2 weeks ago in Arizona, Simeon Rice was pressuring Trent Green the whole game. So they moved Sharp Radonish over there to try to get a better block on Rice. And they moved Badger over to the guard position. But with those changes, it might mess up the running game and Skip Hicks, who's been having a good couple weeks.
Well, I don't think it's going to mess up Skip Hicks. I think he's very patient. I think he understands his role on his football team. But the one thing that he really understands is how to protect the football. And the other guy that needs to protect the football is Trent Green. Now, if he's able to do this, I'm picking the Redskins to win this one.
Well, if today's game is anything like the one 2 weeks ago, we should have a blockbuster. Take a look at that one. And it's good.
He's a hero. He's a hero. Second week in a row.
Joe Nedney. At Jack Kent Cook Stadium, we're ready to go. Brett Conway, a new kicker for the Redskins, signed this week, elevated immediately to help them with kickoffs. Gary Blanchard has had a problem consistently getting the ball deep. Waiting for it for the Cardinals, Eric Metcalf and Michael Pittman. Standing at the goal line is Eric Metcalf.
And they signed him just for the sole purpose of kickoffs. He won't be kicking field goals.
Blanchard has done the job adequately in that department, but they want longer depth, and it comes down right at the goal line, and Metcalf will bring it up. Metcalf pulled down from behind at the 20-yard line. Greg Evans making the tackle on him. And so Arizona, their first offensive series with this group, led by, of course, Jake the Snake Plummer. Mr. Excitement, his 20th NFL start now, this youngster, with so much still ahead of him. Brown, Chris Dishman, Aaron Graham, Lester Holmes, and James Dexter. An improving offensive line. Adrian Morrell and Larry Sanders, the running backs. Moore, Sanders, the wide receivers, with Johnny McWilliams at the tight end position. Last week, 31 of 56 against the Dallas Cowboys in the losing cause. That controversial play at the end of the game. On first down, that is Adrian Morrell. Got maybe a yard. Defensively, for the Redskins, Kelvin Kinney and Kennard Lang on the ends. Doug Brown getting the start for the injured Dana Stubblefield again. Derek Smith, Marcus Patton, and Ken Harvey, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Darrell Green with a sore knee, didn't practice all week, but he is starting. On second down, Morrell again, trying the right side. Got about 3 on that play. It's going to leave third down and a long 5, depending on the spot here.
And that's one of the keys to helping Jake Plummer out early on in the game is Adrian Morrell. Mark Trestman says if we can just get our running backs to get 3 yards on every carry and put us in third and manageable, that we'll be a lot more effective offensively. He's not looking for a big threat run, a big run for a line of scrimmage. He just wants 3 or more yards.
On third down and 6, he gets some time and throws it too high for Rob Moore. And so the Cardinals are 3 and out on their first series here at Jack Kent Cook Stadium.
And Bill, right there, the thing that I didn't see Jake moving his feet. And that's the one thing that everybody's looking at. They're looking at his feet. They want to see him run. They want to see him do something. And right there, he came back, set, and throw the ball, and it didn't have any rhythm.
Scott Player standing at the 10-yard line. First punt of the day. Back forward is Brian Mitchell. They had an outstanding afternoon against the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. Mitchell fumbles that, recovered by Arizona. A muff by Mitchell, and it will be Arizona ball. A 47-yard punt, and it was grabbed by Michael Pittman.
Well, you can't blame the sun on this. You see where he's standing? He's in the shade. He had it in his hands, and then when he looked downfield to find the opening is when he lost the ball.
So rare for Brian Mitchell to make that kind of a mistake.
What was that little move right there? Huh? That looked like an elf. What the heck was that? It's getting around the holidays.
So the Cardinals with good field position on the early Washington error. Mitchell's muff punt. Play action. Plummer rolling to Gedney, the tight end, but it's incomplete. Norv Turner, Washington Redskins coach, here facing a problem in the opening series of the game. His defense does the job. That's been their headache all season long defensively. They do their job on the first series, and Brian Mitchell drops the punt, and Arizona with a chance here in Washington territory. 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line. Plummer's pass complete to Rob Moore. Moore has a first down, out of bounds, inside the 20.
That's one guy they wanted to get the ball to more. Now, Rob Moore's numbers are down from what they were last year. But talking with Jake, that's one of the first things he said. You know, Frank had a big day, and I'm getting the ball around, but I've got to get the ball to Rob Moore more often. He needs more of Moore, if you can get that.
Yeah, you can get that.
And, you know, you see that fumble that set this whole thing up? Washington, if you remember the last time they played Arizona, it was their special team to put them in a bind twice.
Two tight ends in now with Mario Bates, the running back. It is to Bates, and Bates gets knocked forward as he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
You know, and I think when you want to run the ball, if you're Arizona, I think you want to run at Dan Wilkinson. And not because he's soft, but you want to do that because he's good on pursuit. Now, remember the first play of the game? They ran over here to the left, and then Wilkinson made that tackle. Now, if you run at Wilkinson and you can cut it back, because the point of attack and they cut back, there's no pursuit from the backside.
Stanley Richard made the hit. They're at the 11-yard line on 2nd down. Larry Centers, good coverage that time by the Redskins on the fullback Larry Centers. They like to throw the ball to him.
Well, that's no secret. You know, they try to put the ball in his hands. Now, a couple years ago, he had over 100 catches. You see him, he's out wide here. He's split out as a wide receiver. And he's a guy that you can do a lot of things with. I think with Larry Centers, you know, he's not a tailback and he's not a fullback. He's more of just a move guy. A guy that you get the ball in his hands and he'll get yards for you.
3rd and 3, and you can see they do well down inside the 20-yard line. 4 receivers. Plummer, incomplete. Metcalf, the intended receiver. And it was Darrell Pounds diving in there to get a hand on it.
That was do or die right there on that situation. Darrell Pounds did an excellent job of fighting through this. He uses the wrong arm right here. You would like to use the other hand, but he goes through and says, look, I'm going to make this play, and I believe in myself.
So it sets up a field goal opportunity here. Joe Nedney, who beat the Redskins 2 weeks ago with 2 seconds left on the clock from 47 yards out, will attempt a 26-yard field goal. And it is good. So the Cardinals, with the error by Brian Mitchell, taking the early lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Back at Jack Hancock Stadium, you're looking at Brian Mitchell, who 2 weeks ago took a kickoff back, the opening kickoff, in fact, for 100 yards, only to have it wiped out by a penalty. And moments ago, He dropped this first punt of the game at his own 30-yard line.
What that was actually 3 points, because that's what it turned into for the Arizona Cardinals. And for Arizona, they've only scored coming into this game only 10 points in the first quarter of all games combined. So they were able to get 3 early, and maybe that's a start to them starting fast.
Mitchell and James Thrash are back to receive, and it's Thrash from the 3-yard line. And the wide receiver gets over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. For the Redskins, a 19-yard return, and we'll be right back.
Russ Grimm and Norv Turner, Norv being the skinny one of the two, they decided they got to mix up their offensive line and move Sharperdanish over to left tackle.
First offensive play for the Redskins. Skip Hicks, the rookie, in for the injured Terry Allen. Allen out with a knee injury again this week. Tillman made the tackle on him. And looking at the offense for Washington today, including that changed offensive line, Trent Green now 2-6 as a starter, playing behind Sharperdanish, moving from right tackle over to left, and Badger moving to right guard from the left tackle position. Hicks joined by Stephen Davis, the fullback, Westbrook, Shepard, the wide receivers, Stephen Alexander, the tight end. And we have an injury early here to the Redskins. That's Trey Johnson.
One that they can ill afford in the offensive line. They came into the whole season being short on offensive linemen. Right here, Hicks 77 is going to come into the picture right here, and you see him get rolled up on the back. He was pulling, leading that play to the outside, and like I said, they came into the season. They knew they were short offensive linemen coming into the season, and it's been getting weaker and weaker each week.
Yeah, Joe Patton's going to step in and take his place, Bill.
Joe Patton, who had been the starter at right guard, he's been bothered by a hamstring injury all season long. So now as a backup for both guards, he'll move in at the left guard spot, at least as long as Johnson is out. Here's a look at the changes this season.
Yeah, now Joe Patton comes in here because of this injury, and Patton's been injured, and Sharperdanish right here, he's playing. Last week he didn't play because he had a pulled groin. I was talking to Russ Grimm before the game, and he said he re-injured it again Friday. He wasn't sure what was going to happen if he went down.
So Troy Drake getting the start at the right tackle today. It's only his second start, so it's quite a muddle in the offensive line, complicated further now by Johnson's injury. Green is sacked. Back behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of about 4 on that play. Defensively for Arizona, Simeon Rice, Mark Smith, Rashad Swinger for the injured Eric Swan, and Andre Wadsworth. McCombs, McKinnon, and Miller, they've been doing a great job at linebacker. J.B. Brown starting for the injured Tom Knight, Bennett, Tillman, and Williams, the rest of the secondary. Knight will see some time as a nickelback. Jameer Miller has been leading that linebacking core, and it is a strong one. Play action, Green under pressure. And he is dropped again. 2 sacks in a row. Mark Smith.
Hey, you're going to love this. This was out of a 3-man rush. Simeon Rice provided the pressure from the outside. Trent Green had to step up, then the force in the middle. Watch, this is only 3 guys rushing up here, folks. Here comes Simeon Rice. He gets the initial pressure, and then Mark Smith is going to finish it off. There's a pressure, forces him out of the pocket, and here comes Smith.
So already that shuffled Redskin offensive line having some problems. 2 consecutive sacks, a 14-yard loss combined. Matt Turk's punt taken by Metcalf. A flag is down already. Metcalf has some running room. Metcalf gets down to the 35-yard line of Washington. And a flag on the play upfield. 43-yard punt, a 19-yard return. Let's see which way this goes.
What you're going to have here, see the official doesn't have his hat on? He dropped his hat because one of the cover men went out of bounds. And when you go out of bounds, you have to make an effort to get back in bounds. And that's what I believe the flag was thrown on.
Yeah, we just got a personal foul, too.
Mike Carey is the referee. Norv Turner unhappy with the call, obviously.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team, number 31. He ran out of bounds and remained out of bounds. That penalty is declined. First down, timeout.
Where did he go if he remained out of bounds? It's nonetheless against Darrell Pounds of Washington. But Well, here's the man who was charged with the penalty. Now let's watch what he's charged with and why.
Here's Darryl Pounds right here. Ronnie, watch this. I've never seen anyone take this route to the punt returner. Look at him. Still follow. Look, he's behind the bench. He stops and gets a Gatorade and comes back into the field.
Well, you know you get subtracted by how many times you're blocked here.
Well, it was declined because of the good return by Metcalf. And on first down, Adrian Morrell has a first down, 12-yard gain, gets it down near the 22-yard line of the Redskins.
And here Arizona goes. They're going no huddle. They're going hurry up stuff. He gets them around. He calls the play, and they're turning right around and get on the line of scrimmage.
Two good starting positions. The last two drives for Arizona. Morrell again trying to get wide to the left. Breaks a tackle. And Morrell still going. Hard running down to the 5-yard line of the Redskins. Leamon Evans finally got a piece of him there.
And that puts pressure, Bill, as you know, on the defense.
Well, it put pressure right there on Darrell Green. He wasn't sure what to do. Then he was forced to come up and make the tackle and wasn't ready for the tackle.
17-yard gain. And a first and goal. From the 6-yard line, Plummer throwing on first down. That's complete. Touchdown. Cardinals take advantage of another Washington miscue. And it is Johnny McWilliams, the tight end.
Ken Harvey was confused, as was the Washington defense on that play. The hurry-up caught them off guard. Harvey hasn't been feeling well the last couple of weeks. He's been playing injured. He came off the field that time. Right now, he just walked off, called someone else in. He's injured, but he wasn't ready to play.
What did Dave Brown call this? Organized chaos?
That's what it is.
The hurry-up pays off quickly on that drive for the Cardinals. Joe Nedney in for the point after. The Cardinals, who desperately wanted to get off well with the help of the Redskins, have done just that. They take the early lead here, 8:56 to go, still in the first quarter. And the Cardinals lead 10-0.
Here's the hurry-up. Watch out here. Leamon Evans and Ken Harvey weren't together on what the call was because of the hurry-up offense. And Johnny McWilliams finds some time in the seam there. Jake finds him. This place is as quiet as a stadium as I think I've ever been to.
I've never been to an RFK stadium or a Redskins stadium where you have this kind of numbness.
Watch here.
And right here, you'll see it. It's organized chaos. Yes, organized on the offensive side, but chaos on the defensive side. A lot of guys were not lined up there.
Well, this is not a sellout crowd today, but those faithful who are here for the Redskins are stunned into the silence you just described here in the opening quarter. 8:56 still to go. Washington's miscues giving the Cardinals an opportunity to do something they've sorely needed, and that is a quick start. Good performance in the first quarter. They've scored only one touchdown in the first quarter all season long. 35 yards in 3 plays thanks to Eric Metcalf's return. Mitchell right up the middle. Good return for Brian Mitchell to the 30-yard line. Well, Thursday, why don't you spend Thanksgiving Day with Fox? 2 NFC powers collide with Chris Carter, and the first-place Vikings will be in Dallas, where Emmitt Smith and the Cowboys look to extend their lead in the NFC East. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific here on Fox.
That's about as good as it gets. You know, Minnesota, that wide-open offense, explosive offense, and Dallas's resurgence of an offense.
Yeah, that Dallas offense, man, Emmitt Smith running the ball, it's explosive.
Redskins on first down. Skip Hicks gets a couple, trying out the left side, and a late flag comes down. Joe Patton, meanwhile, continuing at the left guard position for the injured Trey Johnson.
They have a holding call. The referee threw that from about 20 yards away, showing off his arm again.
Well, we've had 3 plays in a row for the Redskins offensively, where their offensive line has had problems.
Offense, number 68, 10 yards, still first down.
That is Joe Patton, we just mentioned.
You know, they've been struggling there all year on their offensive line. There's been the only 2 guys that have played every game has been Raymer, the center, and Brad Badger.
And for this game, Bill, with the defensive line of the Cardinals, it's not really good for this offensive line to go up against these guys because they're so athletic.
It's so hard to get continuity in your offensive line. Every team is searching for it. The good ones have good records.
First down and 20. Skip Hicks gets back about 5 up to the 25-yard line of the Washington Redskins, where he's met by Ronald McKinnon, the linebacker, number 57. Jenkins comes back on the field along with an extra wide receiver for the Redskins.
They're in their pirate offense here, and that's where they bring in a tight end, they bring in 3 wide receivers, and they have 1 back, and that's Brian Mitchell in the backfield.
Jenkins, the tight end. Westbrook, Connell, and Shepard, the wide receivers. Slot formation to the right. Long drop for Green. Green up, intended for Shepard. Too high, incomplete.
You mentioned that pirate package, Ronnie, and what they're trying to do is they want to get 3 wide receivers on the field to invite out the nickel back, but they didn't get nickel back on that. Arizona played their regular defense out there, and Trent Green did not have enough time to find the open receiver downfield.
It leaves a 3rd and 16. The ball at the 24-yard line of the Redskins. 1 setback. Straight drop again for Green. Into the middle of the field, finds an open man. Albert Connell. Short of the first down, however, it'll bring up 4th with the ball at the 38-yard line of Washington, a 15-yard pass play. Albert Connell having difficulty limping off the field. The 3rd wide receiver, the 2nd-year man from Texas A&M.
And the Bluebirds are out early.
Well, the Redskins have certainly not given their fans much to cheer about. That reshuffled offensive line, problems here in the early going. Matt Turk in for the punt, standing at his 25. Eric Metcalf goes back inside the 15 of Arizona. High snap handled by Turk. Fair catch signal by Metcalf. The ball came loose.
Arizona has it.
Looks like Arizona got it back. A close call
Boy, they
there.
were lucky on that one.
Very lucky. The ball, the punt was not a good punt. It was kind of an end over end because of the high snap. It went 41 yards. Metcalf had to run up here and opted to make the fair catch and couldn't handle it. A muff by Metcalf, recovery by Arizona.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Circuit City, answers in every department. Low prices all over the store. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Adidas.
Looking at the Redskins bench here as they're off to just a horrible start against the Cardinals. Washington 2 3-and-outs already in this first quarter. And as Norv Turner himself says, you know, something goes bad, everybody says same old Redskins, same old problems. Well, there's some evidence of that here. A flag thrown on first down as Morrell going straight ahead. Mario Bates. Holding call signaled against Arizona.
Wasn't the last time these two teams played in Arizona when we did it? Wasn't that Flag Fest too?
Yeah, it was, particularly in the first half.
Number 67, 10 yards, remains first down.
They get Dishman.
Chris Dishman, the starting left guard of Arizona, not to be confused with Chris Dishman, the cornerback of the Redskins.
Yeah, Bill, you know, you talked about that, and you look at the flag situation. They just might let these guys, the Washington Redskins, back in this game by having this early on.
So it's 1st and 20 for the Cardinals. Jake Plummer wanting to change something up here. That brings Dishman up on the wide receiver at the 10-yard line. Moore, he goes to Moore. Moore just started out, turned back, and the hit was there from Plummer. Got back about 9 on the play.
Well, they talked about getting the ball to Rob Moore. And Dish, well, I thought he was coming out of that slump he was in. He had it in 2 interceptions last week. I thought he was starting to turn this slump around.
Yeah, and what he said was he was cluing in the backfield, and you can see his head right there. He was looking in the backfield.
But he had corrected that by looking at the game films of his recent problems. Plummer under pressure, gets it out to Morrell. Morrell's got a lot of running room, has the first down, still going, and goes out of bounds at midfield, and a flag back deep.
Yeah, the
for Plummer.
passer.
Yeah, he took a late hit.
Wilkinson, Big Daddy, dumped him.
30-yard play. Plummer to Morrell, who did a good job of helping out Plummer, and then making a good long run for a first down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 95, defense, driving the quarterback into the ground. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Watch Wilkinson. He's going to finish this off after the ball's out of his hand. Here he is. He takes him and just right into the ground. But watch Plummer. I'm not sure if Jake Plummer is a guy you want to get riled up. Because, look, this is when he's at his best right now. He'll find the open person, the receiver, under pressure. And I'm not sure you want to get him hot under the collar.
Sets up a first down with the penalty at the 36-yard line. Plummer going deep. Moore, what a catch!
Like
at
I
the
said,
1-yard line, Rob Moore.
Like I said, I don't think you want to get him riled up. No. Yeah, I saw it last week in the Dallas game. He was taking shots. People were hitting him. People were chasing him all over the field. It didn't matter to him. It just got him better.
And right here, look at Rob Moore go up and get this ball. That was Rob Moore last year, and Rob Moore coming into this year has had some problems with his hamstring. Now he's healthy, and Jake said this, we got to get the ball to him deep, and what do? You make Jake mad, he goes after you.
Holy smokes, that was a great catch by Moore. The coverage by Darrell Green. Timeout is called by the Cardinals, and Plummer having to get up off the mat literally with that huge Dan Wilkinson on top of him. 313 pounds, strikes back with a long throw to Moore. Cardinals with an opportunity here to widen the lead at the 1-yard line. Darrell Green out of the game after that catch by Rob Moore. Goal line defense in for the Redskins. Plummer diving into the end zone or not. Yes, touchdown. Touchdown, Arizona. So the Cardinals have again just absolutely silenced the audience here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. 35-yard bomb to Rob Moore, setting them up inside the 1-yard line, and Plummer takes it in. And the Arizona Cardinals, who wanted this kind of a start, have delivered with help from the Redskins.
Yeah, Bill, you know, the thing that's been interesting is the fast break. It started when they started that no-huddle situation.
Point after from Nedney is good. And so the Arizona Cardinals, still in the wild card playoff hunt, have jumped on top of the Redskins here as Trey Johnson heads to the locker room. He's gone for the game with a leg injury. What more can happen to Washington, but the Cardinals with a 17-0 lead.
Well, they just go power. This is power right here. They just take it right up the gut. Right over the center, Graham, who's actually all last week was practicing with a sore knee. He sprained his knee in the Dallas game. But when they're that close, they said, heck, we're gonna make a statement here. We're gonna take it right to the heart of the defense.
Jake Plummer's dive for the score. The Arizona Cardinals in command here with still 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first quarter.
You know, Tim, one of the things I was wondering about in this rivalry weekend where USC, UCLA, Florida State, the NFC, you got Minnesota, Green Bay. Here it's Arizona, Washington. Washington won last week in Philadelphia, and I was wondering how they were going to handle that. And I was also wondering how Arizona was going to come on the road after a tough loss to a sellout at home against the Cowboys.
Well, they've shown what they can do, although it's been a lot of Redskin mistakes and problems on the offensive line. This is Mitchell from the 6th. Mitchell breaks a tackle at the 25, picks up another 3 before he's hauled down. A 21-yard return for Brian Mitchell. 4:34 remaining. First quarter, an 80-yard drive, 4 plays for the Cardinals score. And tonight on Fox, Big Splash Sunday. Is Homer Sprend in hot water? Find out on the all-new Simpsons and the brand new That 70s Show. Plus the moment you've waited for on an all-new X-Files. Big Splash Sunday starts tonight with the world's funniest at 7, 6 Central. On first down, Green, screen pass, Hicks. Skip Hicks pulled down from behind, but got to the 35-yard line for about a 7-yard pickup. Andre Wadsworth made the tackle. Now for an NFL update, let's send you back to Joe Buck.
All right, Tim, in Minneapolis, Brett Favre's trouble with the Vikings continues. His second turnover is a 58-yard interception return for a touchdown. Jimmy Hitchcock, the 9-1 Vikings up 10-0 late first quarter. Remember, we'll see Minnesota Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. Back to Tim, Ronnie, and Bill.
Thanks, Joe. Quick look at those NFC Central standings for you. Green, that's complete. Leslie Shepard, first down. Redskins on 2nd and a long 3. Green delivers a 13-yard gain. And the ball close to midfield.
And Leslie Shepard is a guy, when we were talking to Trent Green, that he felt that he and Norv together thought that they could get the ball to this game. They thought that they create the matchups by moving Leslie around. They liked the matchup on J.B. Brown. They weren't sure which corner was going to start, whether it was him or Tommy Knight, but both have been injured.
The I formation, somebody jumped.
I believe, unless he was drawn off, I believe Rashad Swinger came across the line and touched the center.
Bill, you've been in a situation...
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 91. 5 yards, still, first down.
Bill, you've been in a situation where you've seen young teams like this. Can they handle this pressure? Can they handle being a team that's going to go to the playoffs?
Arizona?
Yeah.
Well, because they're getting better each week, I think they can, Ronnie. And I think they're getting better offensively. Now, it's a young team, but they have that spark, and the spark is provided by their quarterback. As he keeps growing, they keep getting better.
Redskins with a 1st and 5. Skip Hicks. Digs for a couple, pulled down by Mark Smith. Right tackle number 93. Arizona scoring 17 points in less than 7 minutes. How stunned can these Redskins be, and what can Norv Turner and Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, do to get them back?
Well, you know, we're talking about that spark, and the spark for Arizona is in the form of Jake Plummer. Somehow, Washington has to create a spark. They need a big play. You saw a little 13-yarder there to Leslie Shepard. They need something else that lifts this team up, because right now they're in a funk.
2nd and 4. They're into Arizona territory. Stephen Davis with the carry gets down to the 40-yard line and a first down. So the Redskins finally get something going here for the first time in the game. 2:30 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Bill, I agree with you there. And really that guy has to be Michael Westbrook. I mean, here's a guy that has the talent. Here's a guy I think can make those big plays. And last time he did not play in this game, and it was an opportunity there where we thought that if he had played, they might have won that football game.
Redskins at the 41 now of Arizona. Play action. Here comes pressure on Green. Tackled from behind by Simeon Rice.
And they're going to flag downfield here. Nothing worse than when you get a sack and it gets nullified by the defensive backs. Illegal use of the hands.
Yeah, it might be Tillman, the rookie at free safety.
Well, right there, what happened?
Illegal contact. Defense, number 40. 5 yards, automatic. First down.
When you're in an aggressive safety, the thing that happens is you're looking at the run. He gets fooled by the play action there, and he takes a little chuck beyond the 5 yards. You got to keep your head out of the backfield. You got to be able to watch the receiver, and you got to use your hands within those 5 yards.
That gives Washington a 1st and 5. The ball now at the 36-yard line of Arizona.
Coming from a guy who never used his hands.
Really?
Green straight drop. Quick pass this time to Brian Mitchell out of the backfield, and he gets inside the 30.
You know, and there's another guy that can be a spark. And actually, if you think about the Redskins and you think about what they've done, watch Brian Mitchell, who's going to come out of the backfield, little short pass, but what the Redskins have done this year, you thought it was going to be Michael Westbrook, you thought it was going to be Gus Frerotte, you thought it was going to be the 2 tackles, but this is the guy that consistently makes plays.
Draw play, and it's Mitchell again. He's hit by Rashad Swinger and hauled down from behind. Swinger saw the draw coming and held his ground, stopped him short of the first down. It'll leave 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. He has been the guy, Brian Mitchell, but now in this situation, you got to convert it. I mean, yeah, you got to convert it, but can they do that without him? I mean, Skip Hicks is a nice back, but Brian Mitchell, to me, is that kind of back that can get you those tough yards in this situation.
Look at the numbers for him on the season all-purpose. We're going to throw on this 3rd down play. Green has a man. That's complete. Leslie Shepard. First down, Redskins. Perfect strike from Green to Leslie Shepard to the 16-yard line.
And he beat a good corner there.
That was Aeneas Williams. He sure did. Watch right here, the matchup. Inside and back out. And this is one of their favorite passes.
Good job by Trent Green and Leslie Shepard, and the Redskins finally get something going. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. They're now inside the red zone and inside the 16-yard line of the Cardinals. James Jenkins moves up to make the strong side right. Play action again. Green to the corner, and a miscue there. He had some pressure and may have just thrown it away, but it also looked like there might have been a miscue on the route. And we have reached the end of the first quarter at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Raljohn, Maryland. The Arizona Cardinals, hoping to jump in front, have done just that. A look at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Just down the road a piece in Raljohn, Maryland. We're at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium, where the usual rowdy Redskins fans do not have much to cheer about.
Look, the finger's pointing down. He's sitting down. No, nobody's excited here.
They're stunned so far by the 17-0 lead, but they do have a drive going. 8 plays on it. They've taken 4:44 off the clock. Deep in Arizona territory, and a diving grab that hit the ground. Incomplete. Intended for Shepard again. Couldn't hold on to that one. Green is now 5 of 8.
When you get inside the red zone here, in your scoring zone, you're going to bring some heat. Dave McGinnis knows that with a quarterback, you got to rattle them. They know that they've shortened down the passing game for Trent Green. They know that they've taken 3-step, 5-step drops. He knows that the ball's going to come out quick. So to get pressure, you've got to send more bodies than they have to block.
That was a great try by Shepard. He had the ball in his hands, but when he hit the ground with the ball out in front of him, simply couldn't keep it off the ground. So it is 3rd down from the 16. Green straight drop to the end zone, and a diving try by Connell. That one off the mark. He was open, couldn't haul it in.
Well, just a little bit overthrown by Trent Green. And I'll tell you, they're not concerned about Aeneas Williams. They're going after Aeneas, or whatever matchup they have. They're going at it.
And it was Westbrook 82, not Connell 83. Good effort by Westbrook, just too far.
Yeah, you know, you sit there and you look at a situation where you can go up against some other guys other than Aeneas Williams, and right there they were able to go up against him and beat him.
Offense, number 67, 10 yards, repeat, 3rd down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a holding call against Bordanish. So they'll get to repeat the down, but 10 yards farther back.
He's the one who has the job of picking up Simeon Rice. You see the little stunt right there? And he pulls him down.
They declined the penalty here.
So that makes it 4th down. And the Redskins will obviously take these points, but the Cardinals happy to give them up under the circumstances. They opt to do so if Blanchard makes the kick.
And Norv's upset because they decided to take the penalty. Now the they talked to the referee and said, well, you know what, wait a minute. We don't like that call. When you take the penalty, you have to accept it. Yeah.
33-yard try for Blanchard. And it's blocked. How about that? Holy smokes, the Cardinals come up big.
Andre Wadsworth got a hand on the ball. He got the push inside. He got his hand up and tipped it.
All good things are happening for Arizona.
Watch the push right here. It's actually Bernard Wilson, 94, not Wadsworth that gets his hand on. Right here, he drives right through. Watch him get his hand up. Boom. Just gets a piece of it.
So the Cardinals, by declining the penalty, which would have left third and longer for Washington, letting the Redskins have a shot at a 33-yard field goal. Bernard Wilson blocks it. The Skins come up with no points. That is Adrian Morrell. Out of bounds at the 30-yard line, just inside the 30 of Arizona. A gain of about 5.
No, I can tell you this, so far, although Washington has had some problems, so far, Arizona, to me right now, looks like the West Coast offense that everybody's talking about, that Mark Trestman had to put in. That swing pass right there, the distribution of his wide receivers, how he's getting the ball to different people, and the mix of the run.
Morrell hit behind the line of scrimmage this time. That is Wilkinson slicing through to bury the ball carrier.
Washington needs a spark. We talked about that. No matter how they get it, an offensive big strike in a play or their defense, a big play like that can start setting the tempo. Watch Big Daddy come through here. Just olays Lester Holmes to guard and wraps up Morrell in the backfield.
Good job by Wilkinson, who picked up that costly penalty at the Arizona 10-yard line early in the first quarter with the roughing the passer penalty. That led to the long play by Morrell standing, and then the pass to Rob Moore that set up the touchdown for Arizona. And that pass out the right side intended for Westbrook.
Well, that was Ronnie Anderson.
Ronnie Henderson, pardon me, is incomplete. 82 for Arizona. And that youngster getting a start today. He's been mainly inactive. First-year man out of Allegheny College.
Yeah, Tim Denton came off the corner there and put pressure on Jake Plummer. I don't think he saw the blitz, and so Jake had to get rid of the ball early.
Scott Player stands at his 10-yard line. Ryan Mitchell waiting for it at the 25.
The ball went straight up in the air.
High short punt, lands at the 45, and is down there, but good field position for the Redskins. 31-yard punt for Scott Player. So Washington starts from their 44-yard line when we return. Tim Ryan with Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. And since the bye week, the Redskins have put in a more conservative offense for Trent Green, and you can see it has been productive, at least up to this game. 23 points a game, up from 13, and a 63% passing percentage, and he has thrown 100 consecutive passes coming into this game without an interception. Right now, he's 0 of his last 3, and that is caught or not. What a great effort if it is. I believe Connell held on to that. It is indeed first down.
I'll tell you, Trent Green's down.
And Trent Green is down and hurt back at the 35-yard line. But it was Westbrook, a juggling 22-yard catch for a Redskin first down inside the 35. And the injured player is not the quarterback, they're grateful to find out. It's the tackle, Drake. Drake.
But look at the effort right here. Look at Michael bring it back in with one hand.
That's concentrating all the way to the end.
Some catch. We've seen a couple of beauties here.
And they can ill afford a loss of another offensive lineman.
Wadsworth
He had his foot stepped on and planted as his body was twisting.
Troy Drake in just his second start, the 4-year man from Indiana. And that'll bring Rod Milstead in, who's normally a guard, a backup guard. So the Washington offensive line continues to have problems of all kinds.
Watch his left foot here. I believe he gets stepped on right here by Rashad Swinger, right? He gets, and then his body gets twisted around. It looks like he just got caught in the turf a little bit as he was twisting, and then it got stepped on. And when your body's twisting and your foot's planted, it's usually not too healthy on your knees.
Troy Drake, 6'6", 305-pounder. And he's in the right tackle spot, normally occupied by Pordanish, who moved to the left side for today's game. Well, let's get an NFL update on the Tampa Bay game and send you to Joe Buck.
All right, Tim, down 14-0. Tampa Bay fighting for their playoff lives. Get this, still for a 44-yard touchdown throw to Jacquez Green. His first career touchdown reception to cut the Detroit lead in half, 14-7. Back to our nation's capital on Big Splash Sunday. Tim, Bill, and Ronnie.
Hey, isn't Joe Buck Monica Lewinsky's best friend?
I'm I'm not going anywhere near that.
What? Remember in the tape we heard Joe Buck in the background of the tape?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Troy Drake, we're happy to see up and being assisted off, but under basically his own power.
Well, now Patton goes to left tackle where Pordanich was. Pordanich goes back to his old position.
And Milstead comes in at guard.
Yeah.
On first down, Green going deep sideline, and a flag down as Williams was covering Connell and forced him out of bounds.
Illegal use of the hands, I believe. I believe he carried him too long with his hands on him past the 5 yards.
That's right, Bill. He was trying to jam him, and he tried to get him out of bounds. Smart play, but you can't do it after 5 yards.
Illegal contact. And the defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic.
Watch the hands. Okay, there's 5 yards right there. He's already gone 5 yards, and then there's a hand contact.
So with the help of the penalty, the ball at the 29-yard line of the Arizona Cardinals. Redskins with another opportunity. We mentioned Trey Johnson has gone for the game with a leg injury, and that's Troy Drake getting attention. More problems mount for the Redskins. Skip Hicks running straight ahead. Got a couple, and he's stopped by Carl Simpson, number 78, getting some time. And the defensive front of Arizona. Well, here's how the line started this season for Washington.
Yeah. Now he goes down, and he goes down, and what they had to do, they brought Pordanich over here, they brought 68 over here, that's Patton, and then they brought 69, Milstead, in here.
That's how they started the game, I should say, today, having made the shuffles that have been required to give them some extra strength where they felt it was needed on the left side. Green in trouble, and he is down.
Yeah. It's just the floodgates have opened. When you get in that situation there, when you're second and long, third and long, you know it's going to be a pass. It's watch the defense. Watch these guys get upfield. They know what it is.
Not only do they know, but look at now they bring a linebacker.
Well, no, that's not a linebacker. That's Simeon Rice. They lined Simeon Rice up in the backfield at a linebacker position. Take a look. Look where he is. Here's Simeon Rice. Then here's your rushers here, and he picks his spot.
It results in the third sack of the day for Arizona. Still here in the first half. Green's pass too high, intended for Albert Connell, number 83. 11:51 still to go in the first half. A 17-0 Arizona lead.
You know, that's almost salt in the wound, because you get that banged up offensive line. Everybody's playing a different position except for the center, and you're expecting a four-man rush or something. Well, then they start putting different creations out there and bringing different spots. Simeon Rice is supposed to be a right end. Now they got him lined up at linebacker, still with a four-man rush, and he's picking his spot. That's salt in the wound.
Yeah, as you know, they're trying to count these guys, trying to figure out where they're coming from. And as an offensive lineman, you're looking for that guy, and he's not there.
Gary Blanchard will attempt a 52-yard field goal. He hit a 54-yarder in Phoenix 2 weeks ago, but he misses this one. It's short. And so again, the Redskins come up empty. They've had a field goal blocked, and this one's short. Arizona leads 17-0. Well, Washington's miscues obviously costly. Arizona special teams have taken advantage, recovering the Mitchell Muff on the punt. Metcalf returned a 21-yard punt return, setting up the next score. Blocked punt blocked the field goal, I should say, of Gary Blanchard.
I'll tell you, honestly, analyzing the skins is, to me right now, like a right-handed guy using a hammer with his left hand. You know how to do it. You know how to do it, but you just can't hit the nail.
It's been a difficult start for the Redskins and a great start for Arizona. That's what they've been looking for. Mario Bates gets about 5.
And speaking of nails, you know, right now is the time for Arizona to quit messing around and just go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. Just finish it off, because if you, like you said, Ronnie, they've given them opportunities to come back in this game. Arizona has given Washington a chance to come back several times now.
Yeah, Bill, you talked about the Arizona Cardinals, how they have to learn how to become a champion. Well, this is where you become a champion, scoring on this possession.
Bob Moore comes out to the left side. Slot formation to the left. Plummer on second down. and intended out the left side for Hardy, Terry Hardy, the tight end, and that's incomplete. Ken Harvey has a sprained knee, and he's missed the last defensive series, not out there now.
That's just today. Look at today.
Trey Johnson gone for the game. Troy Drake gone for the game. 2 offensive linemen. Ken Harvey on the sidelines hoping to get back in.
They're winning 1 ball.
3rd down.
They lost Jamie Asher. They lost Jesse Campbell this year. I mean, for the Redskins, it's been a terrible year for injuries.
Plummer. That's complete. Nice catch by Frank Sanders. Still going all the way down to the 10-yard line. Sanders, who caught 11 against Dallas.
Well, Frank Sanders got Arizona down to the red zone. But last week, he was telling us that for the first time in his career, he was in the zone.
Yeah, the zone where everything that was thrown to him, he was catching. It was right there, and that play was right to him as well. That was a tough catch to be able to catch it behind your body. He caught it and was able to get up the field, and Stanley Richards slipped there. The safety, he has to make that play.
Mark it down at the 13-yard line. This is Morrell. Morrell running hard. He'll score. Touchdown.
And you talked about scoring on that drive, Ronnie, about being a champion. They went ahead and showed that they can do it. Now that could have been the nail that just puts Washington away. Darrell Green's playing hurt. It's obvious to me.
No doubt. And, you know, you wonder, really, Darrell Green, such a great competitor, trying to go hurt. He's been victimized a couple of times, 3 I can think of, in this first half.
Yeah, you 3. The one where Adrian Morrell over there,
yeah.
The long pass, and then again, he was right there in position to make a tackle and wound up on the ground.
I think he just can't do it, and they may be well advised to just say, Darrell, you better take the rest of the day off. But they've got 3 guys down already, and Harvey on the sidelines trying to get back in. Edney's point after, and that is good. So the Cardinals, who were down 28-0 to the Dallas Cowboys last week before rallying, only to fall short on the final play of the game, have taken a 24-0 lead here in the first half.
When you want to tackle, you got to use your legs, and you can see right there, Darrell's not using his legs. He's not being able to drive through. You got to get a lot of body on him, but you got to do it with your legs.
Everybody's blocked up front too. And you know, the one thing, look at that. I won't even go there because I don't have anything nice to say about it.
You got to play and you got to sell out. Doesn't matter. You got your reputation on the line. Go and make that play.
This right here, watch that right there. Number 24. You tell me. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to insult you. You tell me.
Stanley Richard you're referring to, number 24, the free safety.
Yeah, that's kind of hard, Bill, because you know those kind of guys don't come into my trunk.
You know, I tell you, I watch stuff like that, and you know who could help them out? It's Sam Dash. Didn't he just retire? The ethics guy. He could help this team out and teach them some ethics about the game. About how you play this game and what it's played with.
24-0 lead. Edney's kickoff is taken by Mitchell at the 2. And Mitchell is dropped right over the 15-yard line at about the 17. An open field tackle by Michael Pittman, reserve running back, after a 16-yard return.
I can tell you this, although Washington has made some mistakes, Ronnie, what I've seen with Arizona, though, they learned from last week. And, you know, that was a pivotal game for them. You know, that you saw them fight back and scratch back and give everything they could to get back into that game last week against Dallas. And then you wonder, where do they go from there? Well, they took something positive from that game. They didn't start feeling sorry for themselves. They didn't have their daubers down. They're still fighting and continuing to get better. I think that's a sign of a team that's on the uprise.
Yeah, they believe in themselves. There's no question about that. Trent Green to Skip Hicks. Hicks gets over the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Skip Hicks, the rookie running back.
You know, as a defensive lineman, when you get in these situations, this is fun. You're spotting 24 points and you're defensive end, defensive tackle. Heck, forget about the run. Who cares?
And we talked about turnovers. I know Aeneas Williams said, well, they haven't thrown any, but this is the time, and especially in a situation like this, you know the ball's going to be in the air.
Skip Hicks gets the call again, and got maybe a yard at most as he's stacked up in the middle of the line.
And you know, it's pretty funny, but when you're a defensive lineman, that's when you play some of your best run defense on the way to the quarterback, because you're creating so much havoc taking a step going forward into the backfield that the run game is automatically shut down. That's why these coaches always say, oh, we play two-gap defense, we read and react. Throw it out the window. Play run defense on the way to the quarterback.
I know what you like.
It leaves a 3rd down and 5. The Redskins at their own 23-yard line. Trent Green, and that is incomplete. Intended for Shepard. Tight coverage on the play by J.B. Brown. And so again, the Redskins will have to punt.
Check out Simeon Rice. He gets wide. See, that was the tight end he was on outside. Joe Patton finds a way to get all the way back outside to make his block. And, you know, that's battling. You have to come outside the tight end to get to the rushing defensive end.
Mark Smith is the injured player being attended to. He and Rashad Swinger have done yeoman service in the first half of this season for Arizona. Mark Smith, 295-pounder in his second year out of Auburn. And, you know, he's from Vicksburg, Mississippi, and only played 1 season of high school football, and then was at 2 junior colleges, Navarro College, Junior College in Texas, and Hines Junior College in Mississippi. Went to Auburn as a junior, then only played 5 games as a senior because of a knee injury. I mean, it's quite extraordinary how far he has come to earn this starting position, and what a season he's having.
Well, he's having a great season. He's filled in, and, you know, he dropped in the draft. You see the push and explosion he has? And he's going against Compton there for Detroit, who's a big offensive guard. The guy is explosive, I believe, from the waist down. That's where he gets his drive to get into the backfield. And he's athletic enough to make stuff happen once he gets in the backfield.
Yeah, Norv Turner talked about him, and to me, when you got a head coach from the other team saying, hey, I like the way that guy's playing, right now a lot of people say that he's playing better than Eric Swan.
Well, what they said is, they said Eric Swan switched numbers from 98 to 93.
Well, they'd love to have Swan back.
That's a heck of a compliment.
They might have him next week, Eric Swan, from his knee surgery. They certainly expect him back in 2 weeks' time if he doesn't make the game in Kansas City. Turk hits it from the 13-yard line. Metcalf backed up inside his own 30. Spins away and gets back close to the 30-yard line. Jamel Williams made the tackle there. A 48-yard punt, only a 1-yard return for Metcalf. And a flag downfield again on the punt play.
I believe this is going to be on Darrell Pounds also. Remember the last time he went out of bounds and he got caught him on that penalty? Watch here in the beginning. Oh, no, that's going to be a holding call on Pounds. That's what it is.
That was a pretty
ineligible
nifty
member
move.
of the kicking team, number 66, downfield, 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
Ooh.
Little extra battle there on the special teams. That was Ronnie Anderson.
They called Dan
Darrell
Turk.
Pounds.
They called Dan Turk on this, and what you have to do when you know, you have to wait to hear that thud of the punt before you can go downfield.
Dan Turk, the snapper for his brother Matt, the punter.
And the center's job on punt is just get down, go right to the ball. But you have to wait. See, he took off before the punt of the ball.
Well, you know what's funny there, Bill, is that not only does he have to wait, but now we got another battle going on the outside. Darrell Pounds going to have another tough job to get down the field. Oh, and it's started already.
So the re-punt, this time taken by Metcalf at the 40-yard line, hit immediately. And that was Brian Mitchell making the tackle. He does it all.
Hey, you were right, Ronnie. There's a flag over there where that battle was going on with Pounds and Ronnie Anderson.
Flags on 2 consecutive punts now.
I think this has to be on Ronnie Anderson.
Ronnie Anderson, the first-year man from Allegheny College. Activated today, I believe might be his first game.
Watch Ronnie Anderson here. He takes him and he drives him down to the ground. And right down here, He's holding them down there to the ground.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team
pinned.
number 82.
He's pinned.
10-yard penalty. They
He's saying-
retain possession. First down.
Oh my goodness. he had those hands going underneath the pile. Look, I mean, it's like a foreign object. He had the foreign object going in wrestling.
Ronnie Anderson getting activated. He's excited, working the special teams, and even had a pass thrown to him, so he's still hyped. Well, after the game today, the World Cup of Golf. Can the U.S. team of John Daly and Scott Verplank come back against England's duo of Nick Faldo and David Carter? The Brits are the leaders after 3 rounds. Catch the 4th and final round today following football at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, right here on Fox.
Yeah, all kinds of excitement.
That follows NFL football from New Zealand. Chris Gedney into the game at tight end now. One setback is Larry Centers. Plummer going deep. And that is incomplete. Rob Moore, the intended receiver. And it was Chris Dishman to make it Tim Denton, pardon me, with the coverage.
Look at this last week. This is how many plays Arizona won last week. How many they ran 80 plays last week, and look at the averages for the other teams of the West Coast offense. And then look at the times of their scoring today on their scoring drives. That's how long it's taken them once they've gotten the ball.
Jake Plummer now 7 of 13. That is Morrell on first down, got about a yard. On second down, pardon me, got about a yard to the 31-yard line of Arizona.
And Bill, playing defense, when I was on a West Coast team, the thing that happens for you, like you said, you get the tee off, I get interceptions, and right now, this defense for the Arizona Cardinals, they're going to benefit from this down the stretch.
You talked about the fast break early on. Stockton to Malone.
Yeah.
And that's fast break. It'll take about a minute and a half to score once you get the ball.
3rd and 9. Plummer steps up into the pocket.
Oh, man.
What a one-handed catch that was, and the flag down. Sanders maybe back in the zone again this week after an 11-catch day against the Cowboys last week.
He caught that. That was pass interference. He caught that with a guy draped all over him.
Hey, look, guys, I don't think he left the zone. I don't think this kid has left the zone. After talking with him yesterday, watch this catch right here. He stays with it. He catches with one hand.
Well, in one hand, and then the one hand that Darryl Green has wrapped around his waist.
Number 28. Automatic. First down.
Well, Frank Sanders, you know, we're talking about stars that are becoming stars in this league. This kid right here, like you said to us yesterday, he said, man, I've never had a game where I felt like I was in the zone, where I controlled the game, where everything that was thrown up I could catch. And I don't think he's out of it yet.
190 yards last week against Dallas. First down here for Arizona at their own 40. Adrian Morrell, he's got a touchdown already, picks up 5, maybe 6 on the play.
As I've watched this Cardinals team grow over the last 2 years, I can tell you this. Do you want a reason to watch this game? Get to know all the players on the Arizona Cardinals team, because they are going to be a team of the future. In the next year and a half, 2 years, this is going to be one heck of a team. You get them a couple really fine offensive linemen in the middle. You get them even a quality running back. And this team, they've got tight ends, they got the receivers, and the man with the ball in his hand, he can be the best.
And a fine coach in Vince Tobin who believes in these youngsters. Adrian Morrell, nice little step there to find some more room over a body and picks up 4. It'll leave 3rd and about a yard for the Cardinals. Adrian Morrell, a 1,000-yarder in this league with the New York Jets. 556 yards rushing coming into today's game for Arizona.
You know, Jake Plummer, dating back to college, 6 years, 6 different offensive coordinators. This is the first year he's worked with Mark Trestman. Heck, these two are just starting to feel each other out to get to know what they're like, what their personalities are like, how they respond to different situations. You talk about a guy that is grasping the whole concept of this offense quickly. It's number 16.
Extra blocker in on 3rd and short for the Cardinals. Mario Bates running hard and fast has the first down to the 36-yard line of Washington. 15-yard gain on the 3rd and short play.
You know, you look at a play like this and you're saying, well, how do they stop him? 26 right there. Chris Dishman has to stay outside so Lemon Evans can fill inside, but right there Dishman gets tied up. Evans hustles all the way over there, but that you need a guy like Evans. He's probably one of the young guys in this group that will survive all this, because right now it seems to me that a lot of the guys that are up there in age, they're going to have to move on, because the Redskins, if they're going to build for the future, you got to build with Evans.
From the 36-yard line of Washington, this is Morrell. Morrell turned back by 3 of the Redskins, led by Chris Dishman, the cornerback.
One of the toughest things for a defense is when you're behind like this, you have no idea what to expect, because they're not forced to do anything. They're not forced to run. They're not forced to pass. They're not forced to score. They can just run whatever they'd like, and it makes it difficult to defend.
And they stay in the no huddle here on 2nd down. Plummer at the sideline. Moore reaches up to pluck it out of the sky, and a 1st down inside the 20.
And that's what he does so well. That's been his forte over the years. The big, strong, physical receiver with the huge hands that can go up after the ball. Watch him go up.
And when you look at the West Coast offense, who does that remind you of?
JR.
Rob Moore showing his stuff here. JR being Jerry Rice, of course. The pitch out to Adrian Morrell. Morrell takes it outside, and Morrell battles to get to the marker. He'll be just about a yard short, forced out by Stanley Richard.
I think they could run that play all day to Darrell Green, because Darrell Green just cannot come up right now with his injury and make the tackle.
Yeah, he's out there on Hart. That's what that's about.
Centers works his way through, gets the block on the linebacker.
Excellent block. Excellent block. Going at the legs, cutting the guy out.
2nd and a yard. Plummer takes off. He has the 1st down. He has the 5-yard line, and he may have a touchdown. Is he in? Yes, touchdown. Jake Plummer just made it into the corner of the end zone. And that brings more boos from the Redskins' unhappy crowd here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. A 10-yard run by Jake Plummer.
Well, we talked about JR there. Now let's talk about Steve Young and Joe Montana. And really, that's what I saw there. A guy that came back in the middle, didn't find anything, and was able to scramble and get the touchdown.
Nedney for the point after, and this has turned into a major league rout with 4:05 to go in the 1st half. Nedney's point is good, and the Cardinals now lead it 31-0. Jake Plummer showing his stuff.
Take out Jake. You know, that's the 3rd element of Jake. When everything else falls down and breaks down around him, he can take it on his own. And that's what you were talking about, Ronnie, when you mentioned Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Yeah, and right there, what I like is that you talked about this yesterday, something that you like in terms of his toughness. And really, we don't see a lot of quarterbacks that have that really has that little edge to themselves.
Got a bloody nose on that effort there, and got it wiped off and ready for more battle. Brian Mitchell. Mitchell's got some running room. Nedney got in front of him, the kicker, and then got help from behind and stopped him at the 48-yard line. 44-yard return. Brian Mitchell, there's no quitting that guy. There's Jake Plummer. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns today already here in the 1st half.
Well, the Redskins have had problems all year long against any team that has a quarterback that can scramble. You see with Young, Cunningham, Plummer. Look at this. Look at the touchdowns. 14 of them here, no interceptions. And they've been outscored 115-44. And that's the product of this right here. And it's also the product, I believe, of defensive ends that can't rush the passer.
Redskins start now from their own 48-yard line thanks to the good return by Brian Mitchell. And Green pumps once, and he is going to be sacked again, and it's Mark Smith. So Mark Smith's bruised back turned out to be not much to keep him out very long.
Heck no, you can have a bruised anything. When you have a route like this going, you don't want to miss this. Bro, here, watch this. You get Wadsworth up here, gets a nice rush, and then here's Smith. He fights his way through the traffic. Takes Brad Badger, pushes him back, and then shifts and gets rid of him.
And Albert Connell was wide open, had his guy beat down the field.
Well, that offensive line in disarray, injuries adding to other problems that led them to shuffle it anyway today to get more protection for Green. Green connects on that one, and that is Brian Mitchell. Brian Mitchell, the all-purpose player on this team, and you know, when you talk to him, you can understand his passion for the game. No matter what the team's record is, you're going to get the same kind of effort from Brian Mitchell, and not only that, beyond effort, showing his skills. Running, catching, special teams.
He's put up numbers over the years, every year. And you think about, you know, this guy gets paid, Gus Farrat gets paid, Dan Wilkinson, Dana Stubblefield. Everybody's getting paid. This guy's been the most productive guy over all the years.
Chavis and Lassiter in on the secondary on this third down play for Arizona. Green connects with Albert Connell. Connell dropped immediately, but a first down. That is Lassiter on the tackle. 19-yard gain and a Washington first down.
Yeah, this is the area of the field where they've been trying to get to all day. They've been trying to get in the middle of the field. It's been open. This time they connect, but this is an area of the field too, Bill, where they haven't been able to convert any points.
Well, what it was is they had some time by Trent Green. And I think that area actually would be open for the Washington Redskins against the Cardinals all game long if Trent Green had time.
Approaching the 2-minute warning. We just get this play off. Fake to Mitchell, and the pass. Green had to unload it more quickly than he wanted to. Intended for Westbrook, incomplete. And we reached the 2-minute warning. 1:57 to be exact remaining in the first half. Ronnie Lott in Washington. I had a chance to chat with John Kent Cook, the president of the Redskins, prior to the game, and he was talking about the loyalty of the fans over the years here in Washington. Unfortunately for him and his team today, they don't have a sellout, and the crowd that is here is stunned into silence early, and the Redskins giving them nothing to cheer about. It's been just a devastating display in the first half. Sixth time this year Washington has surrendered 30-plus points, and the first time that Arizona has scored anything close to this. 37 points in a half back in 1983 against San Diego, and they've got 31 here in the first half. That's their highest output of the year. Trent Green takes off, diving inside the 20-yard line and gets the first down. He had the sideline to choose or go for the first down, and he dove head first. So Trent Green doing his best here to get the Redskins back into it. 1:38 on the clock.
Does anyone here read body language?
What do you see?
Well, I saw a very disgruntled, unhappy head coach.
Well, it's been a long day and a long season for Norv Turner, and he has to be surprised at the way this one went. He was certainly more optimistic when we talked to him yesterday here in Washington out at the Redskins Park.
Well, you would think, too, also, because over the last 2 weeks, Washington has done some things well. They've moved the ball. 2 weeks ago in Arizona, they had a chance to win the game in the second half when they hardly even had the football. But when they had it, they moved the ball and got points. They go down to Philadelphia. They move the ball. They get points. Short passing game. Everything's explosive, crisp. The defense is making turnovers. They're stopping. They're shutting down the running game. And then they come out here with absolutely no emotion, it appeared to me, and have laid an egg.
First down at the 20. Green. Diving attempt at a catch, a near interception on the rebound. It's incomplete. Intended for Westbrook. Didn't quite come up with it. And he's Westbrook a little slow to get up.
I mean, it's an excellent move on his part, breaking back to the corner. They had this earlier in the game. Now they come back to it again, and it's a game of inches.
Ball nearly came up into J.B. Brown's arms, but it had already hit the ground, so it was clearly still an incomplete pass. Brown couldn't come up with a deflection anyway, so it's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
When you speak about that game of inches, and for Michael Westbrook, it's always been the bad inch.
Green That's complete. Gain of about 5. Tight end Steven Alexander, the rookie tight end. Jamie Asher going down for the season to injured reserve a week ago Friday. The ball at the 15-yard line on 3rd down with 1:08 to go. Redskins desperate to get into the end zone here before the half comes to a close. Green, quick sideline for Westbrook. He shakes the tackle and Brown and gets down close to the goal line. No signal yet. Ball will be spotted at about the 1. Redskins acting like it's in. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the official signaled over on the sidelines, touchdown.
There it is now. Touchdown, 15 yards. The score to Westbrook. Good effort by Westbrook here.
Excellent effort, excellent drive, but right here, putting down his shoulder. Putting down his shoulder and getting there. He crossed the pylon.
So Michael Westbrook into the end zone and gets the Redskins on the board. 53 seconds to go. And Blanchard's point after is no good.
That was a product of the high snap. They had a tough time getting the snap down. That snap by Turk was high.
Norv Turner, one of the nice guys in the National Football League, and a brilliant offensive coordinator, and has just had a nightmarish season so far with the Washington Redskins. He has seen everything in the first half of this game.
Watch the snap. Dan snaps to Matt, the Turk brothers, and Matt has a tough time getting it down on time. See that? And Blanchard had to take that stutter step to get his timing back, and then all of his timing was off.
So the Redskins go 52 yards in 8 plays. They get the touchdown pass from Green to Westbrook, 15 yards, and get on the scoreboard finally. With less than a minute to go in the half. There's Michael Westbrook.
It's games like this and seasons like this that people lose jobs. All over. Yeah, all over.
Equipment people,
Sure.
trainers, doctors, players.
Not to mention head coaches, and clearly Norv Turner, along with 2 or 3 other coaches in the league, on the spot here with a 2-8 mark and getting a win last week against the Eagles. Of course, the Washington press pointing out correctly, hey, a win against the Eagles, what does that really tell you? They're having the same kind of season we are, and feeling that his team was ready to play today. But they're on the board, and there's still a half to go. Metcalf out to the 26-yard line. Coming up on our Visa halftime report, Joe Buck and Ron Pitts will have scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports sticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
That's Pitsy.
Yeah,
I was a hardcore football buddy.
Pittsy, we need you, man. Hardcore. We need to get some more hardcore emotion in this stadium right now.
There's nothing hardcore in the studio back there. Those guys are eating right now. They have powder girls come put on some makeup on them right now before they go on halftime.
Powder girls?
Yeah. They come over, they powder, they buff you up real good, and they straighten your tie and they roll you down. Yeah, Pitsy and Joe Buck are living the lavish lifestyle there.
Well, stay tuned to see that, folks. Larry Centers. A rare rush for Centers. It's about 7, maybe 8. Look at this first half.
This is a season average of points in the first half. Now look at today.
They've accomplished what they wanted to do. Centers again has the first down and just running free out near midfield. Finally, Darrell Green pulls him down. The 9-year veteran from Stephen F. Austin.
John Clark, you see that right there? They just activated him off the practice squad. He's in for Lomas Brown because Lomas Brown has a twisted ankle.
Larry, there's Lomas Brown, veteran offensive tackle and the leader of that offensive line for Arizona.
Now they got all these points, Bill, in the first half. What are the Cardinals going to do in the second half?
Well, you know what you do? You keep running your offense and get better in every aspect and start seeing things. More learning experience for Jake. You know, Jake was under a lot of criticism early on, and this relates to the points. See this? He was under a lot of criticism early in the season because last year Jake was so exciting. but they were 4-12 last year. But he made so many plays. Everybody that talked about Arizona talked about Jake Plummer. Well, now he's starting to learn how to play quarterback. And with that, Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator, knew that he was going to have to take some steps back. And he has taken steps back, but now you see week after week after week, he's coming out and he's getting better and better and better, and so's this offense.
Very much in the wild card playoff hunt. And that's incomplete, intended for Rob Moore. He had it in his hands, a rare drop for Moore in that circumstance. Pass was there from Jake Plummer.
Yeah, I know what you're saying in terms of executing that offense in the second half. Yeah, I think they should come out and still do some no huddle. Yeah, the score right is maybe it's not what you want to do. You don't want to rub it in, but still you got to execute because this is a young football team. They have to do those things.
Well, this is a football team that's preparing themselves to play in the postseason. And to do that, you can't account for what the other team is doing on the field. You have to continue to get better at your game.
On 2nd and 10. That one just off the fingertips of Frank Sanders, so the magic finally ran out on Frank Sanders, who's been catching everything in sight.
Well, this situation right here, that's what we're talking about. This is a situation where they have to execute. Even though they shouldn't put more points on the board, and even though it might not be the right thing, you have to execute because you're going to be in a situation like this again, a young football team, to make it happen.
I think this is uncharted waters for Jake Plummer. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles it because I don't think he's ever had a lead like this in his pro career.
3rd and 10, and Plummer trying to get up from the sack situation and unable to do it despite an effort that'll cost him about a 6-yard gain with the sack. First by the Redskins. 7 seconds left in the half. And it's been 165 games, our crack researchers tell us, since the Cardinals have had a lead like this one.
I mean, when I sit here and look at the scoreboard, I'm thinking, heck, when was the last time you can remember that? And you think about Jake Plummer and how electrifying he's been. It's always been coming from behind. It's always been in tight ball games. It's always pushing him to become that person that he is. Now it's going to be interesting to see, Ronnie, what you talked about, how he plays with this lead. Is it enough to keep his competitive juices flowing?
Well, I think it will be, and the reason why Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator, he talked about that standard. He's talked about it all year long of what it's like to be a champion. He was there with the 49ers, so he's going to expect that in the second half that they go out and execute their offense.
Something Mark Trestman's got to be happy about. 123 yards of rushing in the first half for the Arizona Cardinals, led by Morrell. Scott Player's punt hits at the 23, bounces to Mitchell at the 14. Brian Mitchell up the sideline, driven out at the 25-yard line as zeros come up here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. And an angry-looking Norv Turner sprinting to the locker room at the end of the first half. The score 31-6, Arizona on top. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime. I'm Joe Buck along with Ronnie Pitts. This is the Fox Television Center. And here are some highlights coming your way from Week 12 of the football season. We check in with a score of the game that you are watching. What a response by the Arizona Cardinals after that distressing loss a week ago at home to the Dallas Cowboys, just thrashing the Washington Redskins as we move to Green Bay and Minnesota.
Brett Favre in the Thunderdome. This place has not been good to him. Same old start, fumbles the ball. Tony Williams picks it up for the Vikings and led to an early Viking field goal. Then things just got worse for Favre. He's looking for Schrader on the outside. Instead, he finds Jimmy Hitchcock, 58 yards for the touchdown. That is Favre's 10th interception there in Minnesota. But Pack's going to come back. Tyrone Davis, 12-yard touchdown run. The Pack's starting to edge back 13-7 at the time. Randall Cunningham coming in. You knew this guy had to get involved sooner or later. Joe Buck, Chris Carter, 4 yards. Minnesota jumping all over the Pack, 20-7.
20-7 as they have begun the second half. Minnesota last swept the Packers season series in 1993. They might do it in 1998. Detroit at Tampa Bay as the Buccaneers try to hang in that playoff picture.
Rookie to rookie, Charlie Batch airs it out to Jermaine Crowell, 53 yards for the touchdown. Detroit up early. Trent Dilfer getting his team back into it. Jaquez Green over the middle, 44 yards, gets his first ever NFL TD. 14-7 Detroit. Barry did the work, but this guy came in. Ron Rivers takes the handoff, goes 36 yards for the touchdown. Detroit hanging in there, but the Buccaneers trying to come back. Dave Moore, 8-yard touchdown off the hand of Trent Dilfer. The Lions surprising the Bucs so far, 21-14 at the half.
Sometimes life ain't fair, Ronnie. Sanders does all the work, and the rest of the guys in the backfield
We've been there.
Points. Absolutely. Chicago and Atlanta.
Fumble recovery right here. Sean Lee, the big man's going to rumble a lineman's dream, making it come true. I tell you what, Chicago making some dreams come true, surprising the Falcons 13-3 at Atlanta. How about that one?
Well, you've heard about letdown. It might happen with the Atlanta Falcons after that big win last week over the 49ers. Other scores, Philadelphia and the Giants, they have begun the second half, and the Giants have a 3-0 lead in a game of two teams that are struggling. Seattle at Dallas. Dallas got a field goal right before the half, and now as they start the second half, a 2-point lead at home over the 5-5 Seattle Seahawks.
Hanging in.
Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. It is a 13-0 Steeler lead. We shouldn't be surprised the home team has won every time Jacksonville and Pittsburgh has met in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the 6-4 Buffalo Bills with a 24-3 lead as they began the second half. And they are hosting Indianapolis. One thing that we need to talk about, I think it's important to throw out there. While a lot of teams are having trouble with their quarterbacks and with young quarterbacks, you have to look at what Jake Plummer is doing after last week's disappointing loss at home to Dallas. Look at what they're doing with his leadership to the Washington Redskins.
That's a sign of a team starting to mature. I mean, you had that disappointing loss at Dallas, but they regroup, get back on the road, and granted, Washington is not playing very well this year, but still, to go back that far and to come out and play like that, I tell you, I saw a clip of Norv Turner going off the field at halftime, and he looked mad, like he was going to rip some people apart in that locker room. It may be his last chance, too, so he better rip hard.
Norv might just keep on running. We'll send you back to Tim Ryan, Ronnie Lott, and our own political satirist, Bill Maas, as the Visa halftime continues after this.
Well, you're reading it correctly. The Arizona Cardinals lead the Redskins 31-6 at halftime here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Ralston, Maryland. Tim Ryan with Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott. And as television and computers come closer together, we invite you to log on to foxsports.com. Take part in our You Call It. Today's question, which team will have the fewest first downs in the second half? No jokes now. Log on and give us your input. We'll return to the Jack Kent Cooke Stadium for the start of the second half after these words and a message from your local Fox station. Arizona leads Washington 31-6 at halftime. We're at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Ralston, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C. Tim Ryan with Bill Maas, Ronnie Lott. And let's answer first our question from the fans because it's appropriate to today's game. And the question is, what makes Jake Plummer so special?
I think it's his ability to scramble and improvise. Things happen on the run. When things break down around him, he takes it into his own hand and makes stuff happen. To me, that's when he's at his best.
Hey, that's my answer. No, but really, I think the great thing about him is that he's able to do a lot of things. He's able to improvise not only in the pocket, but he's also able to run the ball. As you can see right there, he's in the pocket. He makes an excellent throw. But now we'll see him do something else, and that's being able to scramble, make things happen on the run using his legs. And the third thing is watching him scramble and getting outside. A lot of quarterbacks can't throw on the run, but he's able to do all three and do them effectively.
Well, today, look at the numbers in the categories. I mean, that's what he did today. We saw him scramble, we saw him run, and we saw him outside the pocket, and look at what he's done so far. The numbers he's putting up, taking control of the game, and I think that in itself is what makes Jake Plummer special. That's the enigma of what everybody's talking about in Arizona. They saw it when he was at Arizona State. They saw it last year when he was with his team with 9 starts and they were 4-12. And they're seeing the fruition of him learning to play the quarterback position right now and hopefully get this team in a playoff caliber spot this year.
Yeah, you know, what's funny is everybody's compared him to Montana, but yesterday the one thing that I was impressed with was Aeneas Williams. Aeneas Williams said, you know what, I watched him at Arizona State, and I knew that I could win with him if he ever came to my team. Well, they're doing that with him being the quarterback.
Ryan Mitchell from the 2-yard line will try to get something started for the Redskins, but he's nailed right at the 20-yard line and got to about the 21 with spotted the ball, a 19-yard return. Jake Plummer, 8 of 16 passing, and there are the stats that tell quite a gruesome story for the Redskins. 123 rush yards. Cardinals coaching staff will like that. 274 total yards.
But they're winning the time of possession. As if that makes a difference right now.
Yeah, you startled me there, I got to tell you. The scoreboard is 31.
You know what's amazing is I'm looking at the Redskins, and they all still have their butts in their pants. Because I think they should have got them chewed off at halftime.
Trent Green, 11 of 19 in the first half, and he completes the first pass of the second to Westbrook, and a gain of about 5 yards for Michael Westbrook.
Well, we talk about amazing comeback, and I'm not sure if it could happen, but you got to get it with that receiver right there, Michael Westbrook. They got to figure out a way to move the ball. Now, the one thing that the Arizona Cardinals would do, they would go no huddle. Now you see the Redskins going back in the huddle. They have to speed up the tempo. They have to play that fast break offense.
Let's again remind viewers that the Redskins line, shuffled for this game, has now taken on 2 or 3 key injuries. So that should be a continuing problem. They throw back the other way, getting the flow to the tight end Alexander, and Alexander breaks one tackle and gets up to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it at the 39, it appears, but a first down Redskins after a 15-yard gain.
Well, that's some of the things you need to do to a defense to slow them down a little bit. And by slowing them down, I mean the pass rush. So you have to do some things to keep them thinking, to keep them off balance a little bit, to buy your quarterback time. The rollout stuff will help. It's not customary to what Trent Green likes to do, but it's something they're going to have to do.
Well, that wasn't a bad play there to get the first down. First down from the 39, Green, and that's complete to Leslie Shepard. And another first down, Redskins. Another 15-yard pickup into Arizona territory at the 46.
And Aeneas Williams right there, that's one you want. That's the one that you want because he threw the ball behind him, Trent Green. Aeneas has to make a better break. He's cluing too much with the quarterback and not looking at the receiver. Sometime in that play, you have to be able to take your eyes off and read the receiver.
Shepard, the 5-year man from Temple, 24 catches coming into the game, 3 today. Green, too far for Skip Hicks. Tony McCombs coming over to pick up the coverage on the back, out of the backfield. It'll leave 2nd and 10 Washington. Pressure on Green again. In the first half, Green 11 of 19, a touchdown pass to Westbrook in the final minute. The only point so far, and the point after missed on a high snap, causing the miss by Kerry Blanchard. 2nd and 10, play action, Green.
They didn't have any time. They're bringing the linebackers. It's 2nd and long, and you know what they're going to do, and there's just not enough people in there to pick up the rush.
Pocket just collapsed around him. He tried to get it off to Hicks and had no time even to do that.
Watch here. These guys start coming up early, and then there's just not enough. You have 6 people coming in and getting some pressure. Now watch the pocket close around them.
So it's 3rd and 10 at the 46-yard line of Arizona. Lott formation to the left this time, wide set of the backfield running backs, but a flag brought somebody over quickly. That'll be the infraction.
Well, you know that was a smart thing to do, using the hard count in a situation like that.
Offside on the defense, number 93, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
3rd and long, and you come out and you get a free 5 yards because you know what the defensive linemen are thinking.
Dave McGinnis has done a good job with this young, very young defensive squad of the Arizona Cardinals, especially without their all-pro Eric Swan, has been out of action with a knee injury.
Mean Joe Green right here. He brings Mark Smith over and lets him think about it for a second. Think about it, son. I'm going to take you out for one.
3rd and 5, and they stay on the ground. Hicks nowhere to go. Right into the pile for a gain of a couple, but 4th down.
Oh, definitely. They got to go for it on this play right here. You could tell that's the reason they ran the football there, because they knew that it was going to be a 2-down situation.
4th down and about 2, a little under 2 yards to go. The ball spotted at the 39-yard line of Arizona. Westbrook and Shepard go out to the left. Ryan Mitchell. The lone setback. They go to the air. That's complete to Shepard. First down.
Leslie Shepard has been putting it to Aeneas Williams all day. Now, Aeneas last week was matched up on Michael Irby for the whole game and shut him down. Held him to without a reception. And then this week he comes back and Leslie Shepard is giving him everything he can handle. And winning, doing it.
And using the field, Bill, that's the great thing that Leslie Shepard's doing right there. He's working inside and outside, working in and then working back to the out.
4th catch for Shepard today and a first down at the 25-yard line. Skip Hicks, UCLA rookie, gets down close to the 21.
And that's what happens when you lose or get behind. You lose the effectiveness of Skip Hicks. I mean, here's a guy that rushed for 94 yards last week.
And
now,
3 touchdowns.
Right, and 3 touchdowns. Now you can't use that.
Mitchell comes back into the ball game now on 2nd down. 9th play of this drive for the Redskins, starting this second half of play, trailing 31-6. Green, quick release out to Michael Westbrook. Tried that move again on J.B. Brown. This time Brown stopped him, but he has first down yardage. So the Redskins starting well here.
Well, you know, it's their best drive of the game by far. And surprisingly, they're not hurried. It's not in a rush situation. They're methodically going about. They're running their offense, mixing in the plays in the run. We saw the little misdirection throwback pass in the beginning of this drive. But other than that, it's just been, hey, we're going to do our thing and move down the field. It's being patient. Now, with patience, if they score here, are they going to have enough time to be patient as this thing goes on?
On first down, Green rolling to the right, to the end zone, wide open is Westbrook, touchdown. Well, finally, the Redskins fans, those who chose to come today, have something to cheer about. A touchdown late in the first half, unconverted, but this one, a 12-yard pass to Westbrook after a very good Washington drive.
That was Corey Chavis on that one.
And that was it was a great call because they were able to get Westbrook on a safety, and he should beat any of these safeties all day long.
Gary Blanchard for the point after. Snap, Turk to Turk, and Blanchard has the point after to make it 31-13.
You can see right here, Trent is rolling to the outside, sees Westbrook in the corner. Now they were running a little half roll there, but as you can see, something to celebrate.
Well, not a lot of cheering yet, but maybe a little more optimism from those very serious Redskin fans.
He's holding his nose.
Definitely winning the second half. Michael Westbrook has both their touchdowns. A good effort on the first one late in the first half. Wide open in the end zone on that last one moments ago. Metcalf from the 5. He's tripped up. Good open field tackle at the 20-yard line by Sean Barber. And we'll be back at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in a moment.
One of the things in the secondary is you got to talk to each other. You got to communicate. Right here, you got Aeneas Williams and Chavis. They're trying to communicate. They give the finger signals, but Aeneas needs to help him on that play. Aeneas needs to buy some time for him.
It turned into a touchdown pass to Westbrook. And meanwhile, the Cardinals on first down, Adrian Morrell. Not a lot of running room. Yard, maybe 2 at the most, depending on the spot with forward progress before he is pushed back.
You know, one of the questions I have on the touchdown by Washington, why not go for 2? You missed the extra point on your first touchdown. I think it was time you go for 2.
I agree with you. I think you got to go for 2 there.
Mario Bates, lone setback. Lott formation to the left. 2nd and 7. 3-yard gain on first. Give it to Bates. Bates spinning, got over the 30, and now he's driven back again and still trying to go forward, but play had been whistled dead.
Well, they stopped that once the forward progress is stopped. So when the back is pushing, he's in a pile like that, the referee will blow his whistle, and it's a forward progress, the point where he got the furthest most, and then when the pile starts pushing him back, they stop it.
And they gave him about 6 on the play. It's going to leave 3rd and 2. Ball at the 31-yard line of Arizona. John Barber in at the linebacking position. Ken Harvey has not returned since the first half. Out with a bruised knee, still in uniform. Plummer, play action. Out to the tight end, McWilliams. And a Cardinals first down.
See, that's a well-designed play. That's the bootleg out the back door. Now they motion across Jarius Hayes, 48, and that clears out the linebacker. Then they slip Johnny McKnight out into the open.
And then they come with no huddle right here to put pressure on them.
Pitch out this time to Morrell, cutting it back inside. He picks up close to 5 yards for Adrian Morrell.
You know, the interesting thing is that we talked about the no huddle, and everyone always says, well, Mark, to Trestman, how come you don't go no huddle right away? How come you don't go no huddle? Well, they practiced it more this week. They only, before the Dallas game last week, they only took about 5 or 6 snaps during the week of practicing no huddle. They had to use it the whole second half.
On 2nd down, they go the other way to Morrell on that same toss. Close to the first down. Looks like he'll be about a yard short.
And it works so well for them that this week they practice it more during the week. Now, if you remember the old Buffalo offense with Jim Kelly, they call it the K-gun. Similar, you know, this is similar to it. Matter of fact, the backup center nicknamed it the Cactus Gun. Mike Devlin calls this offense the Cactus Gun. And you see, they get around there, but look how much time's left on the clock. They get up to the line of scrimmage, and Trestman is telling him in his ear, right into the head of Plummer, what they're going to run.
3rd and 2. Plummer wants to go to the air. Now he's flushed, escapes one tackler. Downfield, and it's complete to Gedney.
That's when he is at his best.
First down to the 33-yard line of Washington.
Look at the excitement of the players on the bench, on the sidelines. He ignites everybody.
And what they're going to is no huddle again. They're going to force the issue. They're going to force the pressure. You talked about it right there. Look at him escaping, getting around, making the play, but they're forcing the issue. That's how you keep this tempo going.
Not a bad catch by Gedney, the tight end. Inside for Morrell, straight ahead.
We talked to Jacob about it. What do you do when you scramble? He says, well, is there a certain group of plays? He says, no. It's freelancing. When he breaks down like that, he is totally freelancing, and he asks his receivers to do one thing. If the receiver going deep, he has to come back, and the receiver that has a short round-off pattern to go deep. So he wants his deep guy coming back, and the guy underneath he wants to send deep to try to confuse the secondary, hoping that neither one of them, the defensive backs, will stay in coverage with him, buy him some time, and find one of them.
You get tired, Bill. Believe me, chasing those guys, you get real tired.
One setback. Larry centers. Gedney, tight end in motion. Plummer with good protection to Metcalf, and Metcalf will be close to the marker, and he has a first down. Chris Dishman on the coverage. Eric Metcalf has this Cardinal offense just really percolating along now down to the 21.
You see that sign? That's one signal for the defense. That's it right there. Now that's how you have to call it as a defensive coordinator against the no huddle. It's one word or one signal, and it sets the front and the secondary, and it could be a blitz.
Mario Bates again, the lone setback. He has a big hole for him. Bates crashes down to the 10-yard line. Upset by Leamont Evans there.
You know, when you get into situations, your linebackers have to be careful. Now, watch the linebackers here and here. They come up into the line of scrimmage, and once they get up into the line of scrimmage, watch what happens. They disappear. Now there's the hole, and there's no linebacker.
I was always taught, Bill, you got to give yourself room so you can slide and get to the flow of the ball and make the play.
If you get up into the line of scrimmage too soon to make something happen, it usually happens the other way.
Cardinals threatening again. Plummer, that one batted down. Looked like Kennard Lang got his hand on that. They can get a first down just inside the 1.
You know, look at the huddle and the no huddle. Yards per play in the no huddle, 7.2. So that's more than when they huddle up.
We talked about the fast break, Bill, and really, when you have this, people don't realize how much confusion it causes the defense.
On second down, on the 11-yard line, there's Morrell, and Morrell got just over the 10. About a 2-yard pickup met there by Kennard Lang.
Because offensively, you know what you're doing. You have the play, it's called, you have the formation. Defensively, you don't have the time mechanically in your mind to go through down and distance, who's on the field, what the defensive responsibilities are, and what formation are they in so I can line up correctly. That's the tough part of it defensively.
Johnny McWilliams in.
Look at them, look at the defense. They're not sure.
They had the tight end split out wide. Now they bring him in motion to the slot. Plummer has lots of time. Now he runs out of it. Literally. Throws it to a wide open Larry Centers. Touchdown.
Unbelievable.
The Cardinals on an impressive drive right back after Washington had marched down the field to open the second half. Plummer brings them right back the other way. And they widen their lead again. A 9-yard touchdown pass to Larry Centers.
When he takes off and starts scrambling, it throws everybody in disarray. You don't know whether to come up and tackle him. You don't know if he's beyond the line of scrimmage. He thought he got close to the line of scrimmage, then he backed off. He had the awareness to know where the line of scrimmage was. As Mark Trestman said, when Jake gets in that situation, when he's running around like that, the game slows down for him. It becomes slow motion, and he sees everything and is in control of everything.
Nedney with a point after. Nails that. And with 4:01 to go in the third, the Cardinals 38, the Redskins 13. (38-13), 4:01 to go in the third. Jake Plummer's magic again. Scrambling, finding Larry Centers, who had broken off his little pattern into the flat.
Watch Centers right here. He's unaccounted for as he slips into the backfield and finds his way to the end zone. Now it seems half the guys are playing man and some guys are playing zone. And that's the miscommunication we talked about when you go no huddle.
Nedney's kickoff bounces into the end zone. Mitchell will not bring it up. So Washington will start from their 20, trailing 38-13. Not all of the season ticket subscribers turned out for this game today, but the faithful are here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. They just haven't had much to cheer about, but they'll hang in there to the bitter end. They've been doing it for years and years. They've had plenty of success. They're struggling through a tough season and a tough game. On play action, Green. That's complete to Alexander. And Alexander nearly broke away. Pulled down by Pat Tillman, the rookie free safety, but a first down in Arizona territory. 33-yard gain.
You know, that's what Dallas did to them last week, too. They were picking on the safeties. And actually, watch, here's number 80. Right down the seam. That's what he gives you. He's got that downfield speed to stretch the defense. See how he's behind the linebacker and in front of the safety. Trent Green throws a nice ball.
Trent Green, 18 of 28. He's been doing his part today for Washington, as he has really since being given the starting job. First down. Play action. Makeshift offensive line holds up for him, and he connects to Alexander again. Steven Alexander, the rookie, has another first down to the 25-yard line.
Steven Alexander, a guy who had some problems last week holding on to the football, today seems to have a grip on things.
Albert Connell comes in on this next series, and remember, with the injuries, Trey Johnson out of that offensive line. Pordanish has gone back to right tackle because Troy Drake went down with an injury as well. And they've got Patton at left tackle. So far, they're doing well.
Whoa.
What a catch by Westbrook.
Big-time
Westbrook.
Big-time catch right there.
To the 10-yard line. The Redskins march right back. 15-yard pickup.
Michael Westbrook has been the big spark here today for Washington. 2 touchdowns already. Watch this catch here. Coming across the middle, laying out, concentration, knowing more than likely he's probably going to get whacked when you lay out across the middle like that.
Jenkins, the tight end, sets up on the wing. Short drop by Green to the corner. Complete to Westbrook. Touchdown! 3 for Michael Westbrook. And the Redskins rebound from the drive of Arizona that led to a score. They come back with one of their own.
You said that he was the spark. Excellent throw, excellent catch.
11 yards, the touchdown pass, Green to Westbrook.
You know, Trent Green's taken a lot of criticism that he can't throw the long ball or the deep ball. I don't think that's necessarily true.
He sure doesn't think it's true. You know, he just smiles about it. He's got a great attitude. He just kind of expects the way things have gone this year for Washington that, you know, nobody's going to fall in love with him. Point after is good, but he's a quietly confident young man finally getting his chance. Westbrook's first career 3-touchdown game. We're back here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium where Michael Westbrook has scored his 3rd touchdown of the game for the Redskins. An 11-yard touchdown that may be questionable. Let's take a peek.
Well, take a look. The referee right here looks down at the plane. He's going to take a look down. His eyes are looking at the plane, but he's not looking at his foot. When your foot is on the white before the ball is extended across the plane, that's out of bounds.
That's field judge David Warden, number 27, and a loose ball on this kickoff play. The onside kick recovered by the Redskins. Leamon Evans came up with it. Well, I don't know what Norv Turner did at halftime, but he's got his troops fired up and ready to go, and they've got the ball back.
Well, they recovered it under 10 yards, but it was touched when it went past 10 yards right there. It's touched. Now the ball goes backwards, and it's recovered by Leamon Evans.
I think it was Gedney of the Cardinals trying to make the grab there. And so now we have an 18-point game with a lot of time left. 1:56 in the 3rd. And the Redskins hanging in here, trying to make something big happen. Trent Green was 4 of 4 in that last scoring drive that used up only 2 minutes on 4 plays, covering 80 yards. And here he is throwing on 1st down. That's complete to Brian Mitchell. Mitchell knocked out at the 45 of Washington. Gain of 6. Tony McCombs push him out.
Here's what the Cardinals have to do, and they haven't done well in the second half, is they're not getting to the quarterback. You have the banged up offensive line, and you know that primarily Trent's going to have to throw the ball. They're not playing pass rush. They're playing tentatively, and if you've seen, they're not getting around the quarterback as they were in the first half, or at the end of the first half.
That successful onside kick duplicated the one that got him back into the game 2 weeks ago for Nedney's winning field goal with 2 seconds left.
The old shovel pass.
And that's a 1st down at midfield. Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, I remember that shovel pass. Elway used to kill us with a shovel pass.
That's an excellent play right here.
Steve Sewell used to throw it underneath. Watch the drop back and flip it right here. Boom. Right underneath. Look at your defenders. Your defenders are after the quarterback, as I was talking about, and you get that shovel pass, flip it right underneath and out to shoot.
Yeah, you talked about slowing down the pass rush. That shovel pass will do it.
That's exactly how you do it.
Shot Swinger, number 91, made the stop. 1st down, Washington. Green for Westbrook, and the hit on him by Brown. The only reason that ball came loose, the ball was there, and their fans booing, but he took a good shot from J.B. Brown.
Well, J.B. Brown did a nice job of knocking the ball out of his hands. Trent Green was 9 for 9 to this point right here. Watch J.B. Brown, 26. Watch him come in and strip the ball.
So it leaves 2nd and 10. They're right at midfield. Brown starting for
Was that hand on his waist too much, Ronnie?
Yeah, I think the hand was on his waist.
I saw you over there being quiet.
I
know how kind you like to be to DBs.
I like being kind, but every once in a while you got to be a sheriff.
Green rolling to the right. Now coming back to the other side. Deep. And almost picked off. Intended for Leslie Shepard.
They got flagged down here. And that's going to be, I believe, on McCluskey holding up Michael Westbrook on the other side of the field.
Corey Chavis had the coverage on that play to Leslie Shepard. Chavis getting some more time at the safety position in this game, number 25. Penalty against the Cardinals. Vince Tobin questioning it naturally. And he is Williams as well.
And what is
Illegal contact. The defense, number 44. 5 yards. Automatic.
Sharp
First
eye
down.
Bill Maas watching the near side of the field. Saw it.
There's McCluskey right here. Watch. He's past 5 yards, and then the hands go on him. He starts carrying him. See him carrying him, pushing, holding.
Yeah, and right there, Bill, was the quarterback outside the pocket. Now, that's something that the referee has to see. If he's outside the pocket, you can keep your hands on him.
5th penalty on the Cardinal defense, and a costly one as the Redskins now have it at the 45-yard line. First down in Arizona territory. Play action. Green, deep sideline again. Intended for Shepard. Another flag thrown. The pass is ruled a completion there, depending on this flag.
Shepard hit J.B. Brown with a double move, and in the process on the double move, I believe J.B. Brown reached out and got a hand on him.
Your eyes were right. Your eyes were right. And your belief was right as well.
27 yards the gain if it stands up, and it does.
People
Watch
often
the double
say,
move.
when you got the double move right here, he can't even run the double move. He's just jumped all on top of him. But usually what happens, Bill, in this situation for defensive backs, they're playing on their heel.
Holding.
They're trying to keep
defense,
it.
number 25. That penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
You're trying to keep everything in front of you, but you forget how to play defense using your feet. You use your hands. You got to stay off your heels. You got to be aggressive.
That's Corey Chavis, the rookie from Vanderbilt, and continuing to have some problems out there.
Was that Mike Carey's attempt at imitating Red Casham?
Yeah, it was close, wasn't it, now that you think about it? Red Cashin, the former great referee in the National Football League. Green to the end zone for Shepard. Diving catch. Touchdown!
Another double move.
And good pass protection.
Leslie Shepard, a 16-yard scoring catch from Trent Green.
They're going for the extra point again. At some point in time, they've got to go for 2. Unless they're playing for a tie.
Well, these two teams, the way they played before, and certainly last week, this one has got a long way to go before being over. They seem to like to go down to the bitter end, as they did 2 weeks ago in Tempe. 14 seconds left in the third. There's some comeback for Washington to get themselves to that position. Point after is good. And suddenly, with 14 seconds to go in the third, 38-27.
First of all, look at the guys blocked up front here. Great protection. And then a double move on the outside. Gets Shepard past Williams again.
Yeah, you talked about how you got to stay off your heels right here. Aeneas is keeping him in front, but he's cooling the quarterback. The quarterback gives a double pump. You look too far back at the quarterback. The receiver gets by you, Leslie Shepard, and makes the touchdown.
You know, we've been talking a lot about Jake Plummer. Suddenly it's Trent Green with the heroics.
And the stadium's starting to get noisy.
And they're singing my childhood song, man. Hail to the Redskins.
You lived here as a child.
Oh, big Redskin fan. Saw Sonny Jurgensen earlier. Saw Sam Huff earlier. I mean, I was expecting that feel that we talked about coming here as a young kid, saying, man, the fans, but we're starting to see it, a little bit of it right now. We're starting to feel that Redskin fever.
Well, they needed the team needed to give the fans something to cheer about. Those who came today, and not every seat is occupied. It is a sellout by virtue of those seats haven't been sold out for years. But those who came have stayed, and Trent Green, now 25 of 36, has given them something to cheer about here in the second half. 328 yards for Green, 4 touchdown passes, and a whole quarter to go. I don't think anybody will believe him now.
You know, that 1 point, that missed extra point, is really going to come into play if the Redskins continue to move the ball. Down by 11 right now.
Brett Conway's kickoff. Their new kickoff man comes down at the 5-yard line. Metcalf, the kicker to beat, and finally coming over to help with Stanley Richard. And Richard, the last man, pulls him down there. Well, Thanksgiving Day, we've got a double dose of Fox Sports for you. Justin Leonard, Annika Sorenstam, and Jim Colbert show off their short games at the Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge, followed by the Vikings battle with the Cowboys. It all starts at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific.
Now, I've told Ronnie this before, but I don't know if you know, Tim. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
I did not know that.
Any day you can eat all day and watch football is my day.
I would go along with that. This is Morrell from Plummer. Trying a spin move, but he's wrapped up after a gain of about 8. Stanley Richard pulls him down, and that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Cardinals 38, the Redskins 27. Fox NFL Sunday continues after this. Arizona 21-7 in the third quarter, and so we have a ball game here. 38-27 beginning the fourth.
You know, if Washington's thinking they can hold Arizona to 1 field goal through the fourth quarter and get 2 more touchdowns, they're playing for a tie. But if they can't, they've got to find someone to make up that extra point.
41-yard return by Metcalf to the 45-yard line gave Arizona good field position in Washington territory, and they're now inside the 40 on the run by Centers.
Washington, and how explosive they were in the third quarter. 210 yards of offense in 1 quarter.
21 points on the scoreboard.
I think it all had to do with they were protecting their quarterback.
With a makeshift line. 2 of their starters out with injuries today. Mario Bates. First down, Arizona to the 25-yard line of Washington. Darrell Green pulled him down, but not before a 14-yard gain.
Watch the guys up front here. Watch the blocks here. Up on the linebacker, and Mario Bates cuts it back inside. Dan Wilkinson misses the tackle in pursuit. And Bates keeps chugging.
Yeah, Bates gives you that straight ahead where he's able to hit the hole. Adrian gives you a little shake and bake, but that's why they put Bates in this situation, to get some drive going to force the issue.
Bates with 55 yards already.
Bates out of Arizona State. Free agent picked up from New Orleans. And Bates trying to cut it back inside, stumbled, but there was nowhere to go that time. Got about a yard at most, if anything. Kinney on the tackle. Kelvin Kinney. Mark Tressman, offensive coordinator for the Cardinals. See the lips moving. He's talking to the quarterback, Jake the Snake. Morrell. Now the running back, lone setback, slot formation to the left. Second down and 9. Plummer going to the end zone, and it is picked off. Liam Evans. Into Cardinal territory at the 48-yard line for Liam Evans.
Bill,
52 yards.
They ran that play earlier, Tim. They ran a double move. It set up one of the touchdowns early on. Plummer comes back to it again. He lays the ball up there instead of sticking it in there. Liam Evans comes up with the interception.
Watch Liam Evans in the center of the field here, playing free safety. Watch him get a break on this ball and read it perfectly.
He talked about playing free safety, and he also talked about his coach, his mom.
Yeah, Dorothy Evans was a huge Redskins fan.
Nobody was happier than she was when he was drafted out of Clemson by Washington, and you know she's enjoying this right now. Green going for it all for Shepard, and that is almost picked off by Brown.
Yeah, well, it's going to be pass interference against Brown.
The flag down. J.B. Brown flagged a few minutes ago for an interference call.
Ronnie, we talk about this. Anytime you're a defensive back, the corner, and you play the game with your hands and not your feet, it's going to cost you.
J.B. Brown, the 9-year man, picked up as a free agent from the Steelers, and they felt they needed some help back there.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 26, 5 yards, automatic. First
J.B.
down.
Brown, the injury tonight gave him his chance with the Cardinals.
You can see Bill talking about using your feet. Right there, he tries to use the hands. You can't use the hands.
So a near interception.
And this guy right there, that referee right there, is looking right at you. You don't think he's looking at you, but he's looking at your hands while you're going down the field.
That's his job. First down, Redskins. And that is Shepard. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Leslie Shepard having a big game for the Redskins. And that one right along the sideline, he couldn't stay in bounds.
Leslie Shepard, Trent Green told us at the beginning of the game, he's a guy that they thought they could have a big day today.
He throws it right in the opening of the zone. And
right foot didn't get down.
Only 1 foot in bounds, 1 foot out of bounds, and you saw Brown turn back and stop on the play.
One guy that's been out of the Arizona defensive secondary has been Pat Tillman.
Westbrook, first down to the 25-yard line. Another dazzling catch. Michael Westbrook had his problems with Norv Turner after missing a practice a few weeks ago. He's having a huge day.
We're talking about fast break. It's fast breaking right now.
That's McCluskey on the coverage. Westbrook with another brilliant catch. Got his own rebound. First down at the 25. Green. Incomplete. Trent Green has been on fire here in the second half. Tried to get it to Mitchell. To Alexander, pardon me.
Michael Westbrook, look at the catches and numbers today. That's a heck of a day. You have 8 catches and 3 of them are touchdowns. That's phenomenal.
Trent Green, look at his numbers. I mean, they were pretty good in the first half when they were absolutely being demolished. Now he's 15 of 20 here in the second half.
You talked about it, Bill. Somebody got their rear end chewed.
2nd and 10 from the 25. Brian Mitchell. Mitchell gets down close to the 15-yard line.
I tell you, Norv Turner's done a great job of keeping the defense off balance. He's mixed in the run and the pass from the opening of the second half. You know, everyone thought they were going to go fast break. Watch Jameer Miller here come down inside and then Badger kick out this way. Watch this. The down block here and then Badger right off. Now look at the hole. Look at the seam for Brian Mitchell. Now that's going to slow down your pass rush.
Just short of the first down. 3rd and about a half yard. Shepard in motion. Green has a little crack and has the first down inside the 15 of Arizona.
And you can just feel Arizona. That time they didn't get lined up. They're not really in sync at this time. They're talking about that chaos, organized chaos. Well, it's turned on them.
How about this offensive line of Washington, what they've achieved in the second half when they lost Trey Johnson and Troy Drake, 2 starters in this game early in the contest, and with a makeshift lineup of backups and guys out of position, they've been protecting Trent Green, and he has absolutely raised the game.
Well, look at here. Second half, no sacks. First half, 4. That's been the difference.
Lott formation to the left. They have a tight end set up on the wing. Green, that's complete to Steven Alexander. No, incomplete. Alexander, the intended receiver, the tight end, number 80.
And I think a lot of that has to do, the offensive line's done an outstanding job, but I really believe that the play calling has helped them out too, because they've mixed in some trick plays, some running plays, some draws, some things to keep the defense off balance. Norv Turner's called an excellent game the second half.
It'll be 2nd and 10, just inside the 15. Trent Green, 26 of 40 passing now. Tight end on the wing left. Quick release out to the right side for Westbrook, a little too wide. And McCleskey had the coverage that time. If you joined us along the way, these Redskins were down 31-0 in the first half. And that would perhaps recall that last week the Cardinals were down 28-0 against the Cowboys. Came back and fell one play short of forcing overtime. A controversial non-call in the end zone, a Plummer pass. 3rd and 10. Green steps up, runs away from one tackler, dives inside the 5. He may have a first down.
A little short. A little short.
They spotted just outside the 5, and the marker's just inside.
Watch the alley right there. That's a given.
Trent Green certainly competing with Jake Plummer today.
Yeah, you have to admire his competitiveness as well. I mean, here's a guy, and you know, we talked about it when we talked to him yesterday in meetings. He's a lot more confident than when we saw him earlier in the season.
We have a timeout on the field. 9:43 to go in regulation time. There's the score. We've got a measurement. 38-27. The marker on the far side of the field appears to be inside the 5, and the ball is spotted outside the 5, so we expect this is going to be short. But you can demand a measurement by a little extra time, provided that it's close enough to call one. Well, that is way short. In fact, the marker on the far side appears to have been misplaced because it is well inside the 5.
You have to go for it. You're down here, not just because you're down, but because you're so far inside there. Well, you have to go for it because right now you're playing for 2 touchdowns. Because the way the scoring is and the fact that they missed that one extra point, they've got to make it up in some aspect, and you need 2 touchdowns. You don't need a touchdown and a field goal. You need 2 touchdowns.
Terry Irving comes in, an extra linebacker, and they take a safety out. The Cardinals defensively. 4th and about a yard. They have it. Picked. Touchdown. Redskins fans on their feet. 5 yards to score from Skip Hicks, the UCLA rookie. And we've got yet another battle to the wire between the Redskins and the Cardinals.
And they're going to go for 2 here.
38-33 the score.
They had to go for 2 at some point in time, and this is where they choose to do it.
This started with the interception by Leamon Evans and a 52-yard return to the Arizona 48-yard line. And Trent Green has driven them into the end zone on the run by Hicks.
And Dave McGinnis is just scratching his head.
Arizona collapsed in the second half at home 2 weeks ago, giving Washington a chance to take the lead. And then Jake Plummer brought him back with less than a minute to go, setting up Nedy's winning field goal. Deja vu. Shepard, 2 points.
Yeah, they're gonna have a penalty. They're gonna assess that on the kickoff.
Little huddle at the goal line by the officials. Pass was complete to Shepard and just almost casually thrown by Trent Green with great poise. He's just looked terrific here. And the penalty is against Washington, it appears.
Unfortunately.
Now let's see when it occurred, whether or not it affects the 2 points.
After the try, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 86. Taunting, throwing the ball at an opponent. That foul will be assessed on the kickoff. 15 yards.
Well, it occurred, as you heard the referee, Mike Carey, say after the try. So the 2 points will stand, and the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Here comes Skip Hick into the end zone, and we've got a ball game.
Take a look here. Watch this. He stays right at the line of scrimmage. This is Westbrook. Now watch Shepard up here. This is so the inside guy can run the fade and has all this field here to work with.
And it's a safety, bent it on him.
Westbrook stayed at the line of scrimmage so that whole corner of the end zone was clear. And then that's the penalty right there. Shepard right on top of Bennett.
So they'll kick off from the 15-yard line with the unsportsmanlike penalty assessed on Leslie Shepard after the try. And it's going to be Pittman returning, and Pittman bursts out near the 45-yard line of Arizona. Good field position after a 20-yard return. 9:09 to go. 3-point game. The Redskins were down 31-0 in this football game back in the first half, and the biggest regular season comeback to win, 28 points back in 1980. New Orleans over the 49ers. But it is Arizona ball with 9:09 to go. And they have good field position at their own 45. Adrian Morrell picked up at the line of scrimmage, dives for 2. And it was Darrell Green with a tackle.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Darrell Green didn't come up and make that play and support and throw his injured body in there to stop this thing, it was gone. Watch, look at the scene right here. There's nobody back here except this little hurt fella right there. Darrell Green.
Been doing it for a long time.
The Redskins have scored touchdowns on 5 consecutive possessions to get themselves to within 3. Plummer and company need to make something happen to protect a shrinking lead. Play action. Centers. Good coverage on him. He stopped after a gain of maybe a yard at the most. Marvcus Patton, the middle linebacker.
And the stadium's come to life. Everybody's up on their feet. Look at the stands. The crowd is standing now. Remember before they were sitting in their seats, they were sitting down and no expressions. Look, they're on their feet. They're chanting defense. They've come to life. And Trent Green and that offense, that offensive line protecting, have brought it to them.
Each team has all of their timeouts remaining as we go under the 8-minute mark. Plummer on 3rd down. He's got a man open, and it's a first down. That's Sanders. Frank Sanders, first down. Inside the 45 of the Redskins. Two weeks ago when they met, it went right down to 2 seconds left when Nedney's field goal won it. That was after the Redskins had led at halftime, fallen behind, came back with a fourth quarter go-ahead rally, took the lead, and in the last minute lost it on a field goal. And it looks like we're headed in the same direction here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. 3-point game. Cardinals 38-35. First down Arizona, Washington 45. Slot to the right, 1 setback. That's Bates, and he has the ball. Bates gets a little room and gets inside the 40. Pick up of close to 7 for Mario Bates.
Well, the Redskins defense is pressing now, trying to make something happen. They're getting their linebackers up into the line of scrimmage. 3 times now they've gotten up in there, and when you get up in there, you either make the play, or when you get cut, the play goes right by you.
Bates' knee went down there right at the 40-yard line, so it's a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Bates still the setback. Sanders out to the right, Moore out to the left. They give it to Bates again. Bates has nowhere to go. He's buried by Lang. Kennard Lang, second-year man out of Miami.
Told you about those linebackers getting up there. Watch them come up quick. But now watch the line string it out here. Wilkinson, Lang, look. That's good defense.
Very good.
And the team, the whole team, is playing with life now. They're playing with emotion. These guys have a heartbeat.
Big 3rd down play for both teams here. Plummer time, gets it off to Sanders. Sanders inside the 10-yard line. Frank Sanders, and what a throw from Plummer. 35 yards and a first down. Leamont Evans pulled him down, or he'd be in the end zone.
We said in the zone. We talked about him being in the zone. That's Frank Sanders right here. He's going to break and run a little post pattern. The safety's got him. They got to stay with him. They don't stay with him, they don't make the play.
There were two of them on him, but only Evans put the chase on. Richard got caught upfield, and so the Cardinals are inside the 10-yard line. Adrian Morrell breaks outside and gets to about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. Adrian Morrell had a big first half, catching and running.
And Jake Plummer on that last throw, I don't know if anybody had a chance to see Jake Plummer, but he stayed in the pocket. He bought time. He let his receiver get open. And really, you talked about him growing up in the second half, Bill, because he had a big lead. Right there, you could tell he grew up just a little bit more handling that situation.
Well, it's apparent to me and everybody else that this kid just responds to pressure. Mike Devlin, number 62, is in at the tight end spot to the top of your screen.
Yeah, that's an extra blocker here. They've got two tight ends over on the right, Williams and Gedney. Gedney goes in motion. Play action fake, and it's complete to Centers at the goal line. He's driven out. He did not get into the end zone. That was Sean Barber.
Sean Barber covered two guys. He covered two guys on that play. Centers was wide open.
Here's Sean Barber right here. Watch the play here. He takes the tight end out into the flat and then comes back underneath. That's playing defense the way it's taught. Exactly right.
Well, that's the rookie from Richmond, who's just a reserve linebacker, hasn't had a lot of playing time except on specials. Fine play by him. 3rd and goal. Plummer diving. Loose ball. Did he get in before the fumble? No sign yet.
They're saying no. Referees would have signaled by now. They're saying no, that it's a fumble and it's Washington's ball. I'm not so sure if that ball didn't break the plane before it came out.
Well, there's still a discussion going on amongst the officials. Plummer dove in like that earlier in the game.
That ball was extended across the plane and it broke the plane. Then the ball came out when he was hit. I believe that that is a touchdown, that the ball had crossed the plane of the goal line. And that's all it has to do.
But that would make the game far less exciting than you're supposed to have when these two guys play each other.
Let's see the ball come out.
Touchdown.
Yeah, it comes out just after he's broken the plane. Now, whether the officials saw it that way is obviously not clear-cut yet, because they're still talking about it.
You're sounding like you guys are watching a horse race and they were able to see that with the blind eye. They'd have to take a couple of pictures of that shot.
Oh, man, how popular is this guy going to be?
Was stopped short of the line of the game. There's no score. 4th down.
Oh, boy.
Well,
oh, boy. Now,
there was. I was thinking they were going to call it one way or the other, but there's a third. Here's the plane. Now watch the ball cross it. The ball, touchdown, right there. It's a touchdown. Now it comes out.
Okay, now where does the ball go and who gets up, who came up with it? The Cardinals said they did. However, play evidently whistled dead at that point, and it is still Cardinal ball with a 4th down. And there's still some discussion going on.
I'm trying to figure out that call.
See, Norm Turner saying, hey, we got the ball, didn't we? I don't know what he's saying. I shouldn't speculate on that,
well,
but
I can tell you
his players came up with the loose ball.
There was a couple calls you could have made there. That wasn't one of them.
I know.
Because the Redskins came out of the pile with the ball.
Well, actually, the likely call is that they simply said his momentum was stopped. We didn't have that part of it explained, but it's 4th down. Plummer diving again. Touchdown. Both officials out at the pylon signal that time that Plummer is in. 3:24 on the clock. Cardinals go on top 44-35. Approaching basketball-like numbers here. Plummer's third rushing touchdown of the day. 4 if you count the one that was called back.
This time he goes to the other side. He goes to his left.
There's no question that was in 2.
So Jake Plummer twice has dove for touchdowns and ran one in from 10 yards out. 3 rushing touchdowns for the Snake.
The guy who really got in there and rooted him out was Chris Dishman.
And we may have had an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, that's what you have.
Mike Carey signaling it, but perhaps his mic isn't working. And we'll be back with 3:24 to go. Darrell Green pleading a case with the officials on the field, as usual, not to any avail. There is still a discussion going on amongst the officials. Down near the goal line, we're awaiting the point after play on the 1-yard touchdown dive by Jake Plummer.
Well, Darrell's upset. And what he's upset about is this call right here. It's a touchdown. He crossed the plane. Then the ball came out, okay? But the ruling is either it's a touchdown or it's a fumble in Washington's ball because Washington recovered the ball. It shouldn't have been 4th down, possession stopped short of the goal line. That wasn't the case.
And were it in the end zone, Redskins would still have possession, even having the ball in their end zone as a touchback. Now let's see. They thought we were expecting another announcement, but they're just going ahead here with the point after.
Well, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, the
unsportsmanlike penalty. I think the microphone failed him on his first try. Nedney connects on the point after. And we're back to a 10-point game. 25 seconds have been replaced on the clock.
Yeah, you sit here and you got to think that Arizona, they're fighting for their lives because they're still in the playoff hunt right now. They control their own destiny. In Washington, on the other hand, they're trying to get these guys so they can be at home at Christmas with them.
Just to clarify, the 25 seconds going back on the clock, apparently it kept running after the first time that Plummer appeared to take it into the end zone and the ball came loose. The clock kept running, and so they've caught those 25 seconds and replaced them. Something to remember also is that unsportsmanlike penalty at the other end to Leslie Shepard after the touchdown by Washington. That caused a short kickoff and great field position for Arizona that led to this touchdown here.
Well, there's the play. Watch, the ball is across, and it's a touchdown. And then he gets hit, and then it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of the quarterback or anyone reaching, trying to get the ball over the end zone, because just like that, you can knock the ball out, and it's hard for the human eye to see if that ball is crossed the line or not. And the referees didn't believe that it crossed the line because they would have singled. They would have singled the touchdown. Right.
It's happened so quick. The ball's across and then it's hit.
Cardinals kicking. Nedney. Brian Mitchell hit at the 20-yard line and down there about at the 21. Well, a reminder that on Thanksgiving Day, get a double dose of Fox Sports with Justin Leonard, Annika Sorenstam, and Jim Colbert. Show off their short games at the Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge, followed by the Vikings battling the Cowboys. It all starts at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
And then Minnesota, Randall Cunningham and company, and of course, Troy Aikman, they show off their long game.
And some of that,
right.
and I know you're going to be looking at that turducken.
Oh, so you give me turkeys, you give me a Thanksgiving dinner, I'm set, brother.
Now Trent Green goes back to work. That pass a little short. Intended for Brian Mitchell, incomplete. Linebacker Jameer Miller on the coverage. Green now 26 of 42. Quite a day for him. It's been a battle of the quarterbacks, and they have both played some brilliant football today.
I can tell you, for me, the last 2 times we've seen these guys, I mean, they have given us everything they could give us. Flea flickers, big plays, great receiving.
Game-winning field goals. Green flushed.
Scrambling quarterbacks.
Yeah. Out of bounds. He was trying to steer a receiver to help him, but the coverage was good downfield, so he ran it out of bounds at the 25. 3:26 on the clock. 10-point Cardinal lead again. They led 31-0 in the first half. 31-6 at halftime.
Trent Green with his play today and his play over the last couple weeks, I think he solidified himself as a quarterback in this league. Whether it's here or someplace else as a backup, the kid shows he can play.
Maybe as a starter on some teams. I think the guy is a starting quarterback. I like what I've seen of Trent Green. That's complete. He's now up to 143 pass attempts without an interception. That's the kind of accuracy every coach wants. First down, Redskins.
Wasn't Trent Dilfer the season high last year with 155?
I would imagine there were 2 Trents in the league at all playing quarterback. Think about that. And that's a catch and complete to Westbrook.
And here's a guy that a lot of people talked about, and you can see his potential today. He's made some outstanding catches, Michael Westbrook.
Going to leave about 2nd and a yard. Westbrook with 9 catches today. He's had his other problems off the field, missing a practice we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and sat down for that game, dressed for the next, but wasn't used against the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. He can play, keeps his mind to it. Green, incomplete, intended for Mitchell. He had good coverage, he threw it away.
Michael Westbrook was open on that play. Ran a good route. You know, and Michael Westbrook is a guy that somehow, some way, you've got to find a way to get what you've gotten out of him today every week. Now, who can do that? I don't know. Is it possible? I don't know. But what we've seen today and what we've seen in bits and pieces throughout his career is this big play capability.
3rd and a yard. Alexander in motion, and they come to Mitchell, and Mitchell dives for the first down. Brian Mitchell, Mr. Reliable for these Redskins in so many ways. Mark Smith made the tackle.
You know, this defense right here that we've seen is what I've seen a lot in the second half.
And Green is sacked. That is Simeon Rice coming from behind. Green never saw him. He got an ankle tackle at him. Good show of speed off the edge from Simeon Rice. That drops him back.
For Rice, that's his 2nd of the game. That puts him at 9 on the season.
2nd and 17 now for Green. And the little inside shuffle pass to Brian Mitchell, and he's dropped by the linebacker Ronald McKinnon, who smelled that all the way. So the Cardinals defense coming up big here in this critical time of the game. We'll be right back. 2 minutes to go. Big Joe Green exhorting his troops, getting them where he wants them here. Is down lineman up front. Linebackers McKinnon, Miller, McCombs, they've played excellently all season long, and right now they don't want any more mistakes. Remember, Washington scored 10 points in a minute 4 2 weeks ago to get themselves in front of that game before losing on the final 2nd field goal. Green, upfield, that's complete to Westbrook, and a first down into Cardinals territory at the 45. 19 yards on the play. Now we're at the 2-minute warning.
Dave McGinnis gambled. He talked about when to blitz and when he should blitz. He blitzed, and they caught him in the blitz. Picked up the first down.
And Ronnie, Lott, Bill Maas, you're looking at Norv Turner. His team has the ball first down at the 44-yard line. And they have battled back from a 31-6 halftime deficit. They were down 31-0. They now trail by 10 as the Cardinals finally got a drive going to widen the lead again to 10.
Well, 2 weeks ago in Arizona, they were down by 10 with only a minute 19.
Dean gets some time. He's going deep. Westbrook, and he can't hold on. McCleskey, and McCleskey may get called for interference. The flag is there.
Exactly what it is.
McCleskey is probably pleading that Westbrook pushed off of him before he committed his foul.
He can plead all he wants.
That's right.
That's pass interference. That was the slant corner. Took it to the post and then back outside to the corner. And McCluskey is just getting a piece of the receiver.
Pass interference.
He has no idea where the ball's at.
Automatic. First down.
You see the contact right there before the ball gets there.
You got to find the ball. You got to find the ball. If he turns his head there, the referee would not call that.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
The thing that I like is that they found the matchups that they need to exploit.
43-yard penalty.
And they're going to find one right here, too.
Mitchell alone set back. Redskins in a dramatic comeback. Green takes off running, trying to get to the corner of the pylon. Touchdown. Trent Green. Boy, he was just out there running hard. Trent Green in a nose-to-nose battle with Jake Plummer.
And the matchup that you were talking about, Ronnie, is the 3 wide receivers. Trent Green looks like he might be a little banged up here. The 3 wide receivers on the field to bring in the extra DB, the nickel DB.
And we talked about trying to find a matchup that he can exploit. Well, his legs were the matchup right here. He uses his legs to get in the end zone and to fight his way and get the ball across right to pylon.
And he did that Maas because his face.
Point after is good, and Trent Green getting some assistance coming back to the bench, but a gutty effort by him. With Tommy Bennett draped all over him, he dove into the end zone, and we're back to a 3-point game.
He had that hand in his face, right? See that? He's covered up, and he just got a... How did he know where the pylon was?
Boy, that is a great job.
Well, you talked about it, Bill. You talked about scoring 10 points. Well, they got 7. They got 7 already within that minute.
And it's the time right now when they've got to line up and go ahead and kick that onside kick.
Green with 257 yards passing, comes up with a touchdown. 36 points scored in this half by Washington. And Trent Green, with the biggest game of his NFL career, after all, it really only began this year, has brought his team back to within 3.
6 possessions, 6 touchdowns, nearly 400 yards for Trent Green this half. Amazing.
Well, they converted the onside kick earlier. They did that 2 weeks ago in Arizona. They know how to do it. Blanchard will be the kicker. 1:46 on the clock. Cardinals with their hands team obviously here.
What they're going to try to do, he'll kick the top of this football. It'll bounce once right about here, and then it'll come up high, and it's got to get behind that 10-yard mark right there. Or unless it touches one of the defenders in here, touches one of these guys.
Yeah, and that happened on the first one that they got earlier in the game. And it is caught by Pat Gilman and covered immediately.
And the kicker, he didn't get a good piece of it. Blanchard didn't kick that the way he wanted to. He's disgusted with himself.
He didn't get the high hop, did he?
Yeah, you have to kick the top of that football so that it goes about 3 or 4 yards, hits the ground. He's got to kick the top part of the football. Watch where he kicks this thing. See, it was too low. He kicked it too low, and it was just a ground ball then. It didn't get that bounce there, so it would go up high.
You got to hit it like you hit a golf ball. You got to hit right down on it.
Oh, you hit it too high. Maybe hit it too high. He just rolled it off the tee.
Tillman made sure that it went nowhere except into Arizona possession. 1:45 remaining. They have it at the 41-yard line. Adrian Morrell. Redskins will try to strip it, of course. He gets inside the 40.
They call timeout. Stop the clock.
That should leave the Redskins 1 timeout remaining.
Remember 2 weeks ago, Washington got 10 points with 1:09 left? This was just 2 weeks ago in the 4th quarter. Trent Green, Shepard. Then they came back with the onside kick. Look at this hop. Boom! Up high, and they recovered. That led to a field goal, which they thought would have won the game for him. But they gave Jake too much time. They left him with 37 or 37 seconds left.
Yep.
And he came back and took him down for a Joe Nedney last-second field goal. And it was back-to-back last-second field goals for Nedney. The Detroit game and then Washington. And there's something about Arizona. Their games always come down to the last minute. Last minute, last play. 9 games last year came down to the last minute or the last play of the game. They, of course, lost 6 of them, and their record was 4-12. This year, they have 5 games coming into this game that came down to the last play or last minute. This game could as well.
Morrell again. Tried to kick it outside, but he's just battling his way close to the 35, and the Redskins trying to steal the ball, of course.
They're going to use the last time
ties him up, and Redskins have to take the final timeout. 1:32 on the clock. These have been 2 different football games played by Washington here. The first half, they were dismal. They made every mistake possible. They didn't seem to be playing with any fire. They were down 31-0. And Norv Turner went sprinting off at halftime to the locker room. You could see the rage in his face. And whatever he had to say to them inside that locker room produced quite a turnaround in the second half.
Well, you know, unfortunately for the Redskins, too, you know, they've played like that this year. You know, some games they've just looked lackluster, and in some games they've come out and looked like a quality football team. It's putting the whole thing together, I think, has been a problem. Now, I say that, and you look at all the injuries, too. But one thing I can credit the Redskins with is they've stuck together. They fought through this. You know, they had high expectations on them this season, and they've stuck together. And I think it's due to their coach, to their veteran players on the team. Hey, Kansas City had high expectations, and you saw them fall apart on Monday night. This group has not done that, and I think that's a credit to the coach and the veteran players, the core of veteran players. When you have the Darrell Greens, the Marcus Patton, the Ken Harvey, the guys that have been around. Yeah, sure.
And they lose 2 offensive linemen in this game after reshuffling it to provide more protection for Trent Green. Trey Johnson and Troy Drake both go out. They have to move guys around, play backup, and what a job they did. Now, this is a big play for Arizona and Washington both. Cardinals need to keep the ball, and they got to play defense. And that's too far for Rob Moore, and the crowd applauds that. 1:30 to go, and the Redskins will have the ball again. The Cardinals trying to get to 6-5. They're a wild card playoff hope. They don't play a team with a winning record the rest of the way. That began today, the 6 teams they had left coming into Washington.
Yeah, I question that call right there. I think that you got Jake Plummer. You either roll him out and you let him either win it with his legs or you let him win it with his arms, moving him, not keeping him in the pocket.
Not only that, you take a few seconds more off the clock. Players punt, Bearcat signal, bounces at the 10 and bounces back upfield.
Big Washington bouncer.
Is down at the 16-yard line.
It's flag down at the line.
It's a flag down because there was too many guys on the field.
Mario Bates downing the ball.
They came out and snapped that ball quick.
Mike Carey, the referee, getting a call from his colleagues.
That's it, Ronnie.
Signal appeared to be against the Redskins.
Arizona came out and quickly got to the line of scrimmage and snapped that ball.
And Darrell Green said that it was only 10 guys out there.
Too many men on the field. On the defense, 5 yards, repeat, 4th down.
Well, that's a good opportunity for Arizona. Vince Tobin make a decision here as that ball bounced back upfield in favor of Washington.
Well, I don't think it's I think you'd line up and you try to kick the field goal. That extra 5 yards should be enough for Nedney.
No, I think you punt it. I think you punt it, and the reason why I think you punt it here is that I don't want that extra 10 yards. Because if he misses this field goal, Now they're starting right there from the 32-yard line.
Now the line of scrimmage is at the 31-yard line, just between the 31 and 32.
That's the extra guy on the field. There's two extra guys.
Line as an extra blocker. They have two tight ends, McWilliams and Gedney. They've got the big guy, Jarius Hayes, blocking fullback.
I think that might just be window dressing. That might be a rollout.
Mario Bates.
Oh, what a play! What a play! Big Daddy.
Wilkinson diving in there and stopping him. They get the ball back with 1:16. Do not go away.
Watch Dan Wilkinson shoot the gap here. Lay his hand out right here. Get a piece of it. And then they come in and finish up. Dishman, Kelvin Kenny. Watch him shoot it. Right here. Boom. Keeps his feet, reaches out, gets a piece of it. Good penetration by Dan Wilkinson.
Well, it's been a good day of rushing by the Cardinals today, 191 yards, but they couldn't get the one that could be the most costly. 1:16 on the clock. Redskins with no timeouts remaining. Green has a man open, can't get it to him. Intended for the tight end, Stephen Alexander.
And this is where it gets tough because now Dave McGinnis has really been in a prevent defense most of the second half. And you're only rushing three guys. This is a heck of a rush by Simeon Rice, getting the push on Joe Patton. And on the other side, it's Wadsworth. It's really got to be up to those two guys to get pressure right now.
They brought in Rashad Swinger and took the linebacker McKinnon out. So more muscle up front of the front four on this down. Green gets time. And it's tipped and intercepted by Lassiter. Off the hands of Westbrook, Kwame Lassiter. The ball was a little high. Westbrook couldn't bring it down, and it's Arizona ball with 1:02 to go. In Washington territory near the 30-yard line.
Well, that's why they bring Kwame Lassiter into the game during nickel situations. That's what he is. He's a guy with great range and a knack for the ball. That's his 4th interception of the year. He's playing in the safety spot. Just watch. He's sitting back there. When this ball gets tipped, watch him close. Good awareness. Good heads-up play by Kwame Lassiter. And you talk about the thing that Aeneas Williams said. It's going to come down to turnovers. We haven't got one. They haven't thrown one. Right there. There it is.
The ball just too high from Trent Green, and you could see in that replay he had a couple of monsters in front of him. May not have had the best view he wanted, and he sailed the ball. Westbrook had no chance to haul it down. 1:02 to go, and now the Cardinals can count this clock down and escape with a victory here after leading 31-0, being challenged in the second half. The Redskins with a brilliant comeback that falls short, much as the Cardinals did last week against Dallas. And the Cardinals have moved to 6-5, staying in contention with the wild card playoff picture. No teams with winning records ahead of them over the rest of the way. It's up to them. The Bears, no, not the Bears, that's not right. Their remaining schedule for the Cardinals presents no great threat in terms of winning teams.
The Cardinals have Kansas City next, New York Giants, Philadelphia, New Orleans, and San Diego.
Right? In fact, we'll be with them in Kansas City next week.
Only a 3.33 winning percentage of those teams so far.
Arizona Cardinals 45-42 in a strange but exciting game at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. We'll return to Ralph John, Maryland in a moment.